It's your boy Big Ghost Rider here, man. You know what I'm talking about? Legal Wars Live. I think this is a special edition, but this will have to be like episode number 55. Ah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't never stream on a Sunday, but this probably like my second time streaming on a Sunday within, I'll say probably a month or so. You know what I'm saying? The second time I streamed on Sunday on a month or so. But you know what I'm saying? This Sunday I felt it was important to stream. Good morning, Orange Janelli. I felt it was, as you guys come in the stream, y'all please remember to double tap the screen, like the video. You know what I'm saying? That'll help us within the algorithm, and I appreciate that. I think it's important, you know what I'm saying, for us this morning. I wanted to go ahead and address, you know what I'm saying, the killing of the Supreme Leader in Iran. Not only was the Supreme Leader killed, about 40 others were killed as well. So President Trump, he decided to press forward and move forward and to go ahead and strike Iran. So that's breaking news, man. I guess I could have waited till tomorrow to talk about it, but I wanted to talk about it today, man. Like, I'm going to go ahead and put my feelings out there personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, my feelings are as important as I would say any other American's feelings are. But like, I wouldn't think for any particular reason that I was special. You know what I'm saying? And my feelings mattered any more than anybody else's feelings. You know what I'm saying? That being said, I go ahead and give my opinion. And then after I give my opinion, we'll go ahead and we'll get into the news story. And then I'll give my analysis. You know what I'm saying? So my opinion on the situation, me personally, I care about human rights. Human rights is probably like my most important thing that I care about as a person, as an American. Besides human rights, you know what I'm saying? I care about civil rights. I care about just the rights of the people. So knowing the Iranian leader was responsible for thousands of people dying, the Iranian people being oppressed over the years, that would lead me to say, man, that I would say that I would be in support of President Trump striking Iran, because we knew in America, we knew it was coming. Ghost knew it was coming. I told you guys it was coming. Here's the thing, though. Besides how I feel about it personally, because that's my personal opinion, and we all have our personal opinions. If I give you guys some analysis, my analysis is quite different than what my opinions are. Does that make sense to you? Like, in my personal opinion, I feel like the guy is he's been screaming death to America. Like, listen, be real. Let's not be crybabies. Let's not be weak. Let's be real. This guy has been screaming death to America for how long? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is if we look at it from that perspective, but if I look at it, not my personal opinion, and do some analysis, what I would have to say from this point, look, regardless of how you feel, Republican, Independent, Democrat, regardless of where you at on the political spectrum, regardless if you in the Middle East, if you Putin or you cheat, because this is affecting them too. It's much larger implications on this. Maintaining the world order, whether you're Europe, regardless of where you at in the world, how you feel about what him and Israel has done is irrelevant. I'm talking about from this point we are at right now, moving forward. I give 3 reasons, and I'm going to list 3 reasons why President Trump needs to get out of this situation as fast as he can, If you guys haven't liked the video, go ahead, double tap the screen for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, and I'm going to go ahead and get into it, okay? Number one, let's start off by finding out what happened. You guys might be in a live stream like, what really happened? This source for the news story is the Washington Post, and it was published today. So the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, I hope I said that right. It don't matter now, right? Since 1999, was killed in a U.S.-Israeli strike on Iran. So he's dead. It's a wrap. The Supreme Leader is dead. President Donald Trump announced his death Saturday. An Iranian state television confirmed it hours later. Iran's government declared 40 days of mourning. You're going to mourn him for 40 days, right? Iran there in mourning. That's what they said, 40 days. I don't know how long that Iranian government there is going to still be in power. Khamenei was killed in an Israeli airstrike on his Tehran compound, according to 4 Israeli security officials. Trump, who earlier said the operation was aimed at topping the Iranian government, said in a Truth Social post that the attack will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or so, as long as necessary to achieve our objective of peace throughout the Middle East and indeed the world. Republican, Independent, Democrat, it don't matter. You guys get down in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do you guys think President Trump attacking Iran was necessary to achieve the objective of peace throughout the Middle East and the world? That's why I started out with my personal opinion. If you ask me personally, I would say yes. I would say maybe not attacking them. Maybe there was a different way around it. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that guy had done some really bad things. That regime has done some really bad things. Let's be real. Let's just be real. But what I'm trying to say is, number one, Ghost said he's going to give you 3 reasons why President Trump should be exiting. Number one is the legality. The question is, because the Iranians are saying that he violating international law. The question is, can America arbitrarily strike and kill, aim to kill? Because the Iranians saying, what are we doing wrong? What have we done wrong? And we could argue that and we could debate that. But what I'm saying is did President Trump go to the UN? Did he go to the United Nations? Did President Trump follow all the steps legally to attack Iran? Guys, listen, it said that the Israelis killed him, but you guys know that Netanyahu he's already been ruled as a war criminal. He'll be arrested if he go to the wrong country. I'm not saying it's about Ghost. It's not how Ghost feels. This is not a political thing. I'm just asking a question. Is it legal? Was it legal? According to international law, y'all have the discussion amongst yourselves. All I'm doing as a strategist, I'm giving y'all 3 reasons why President Trump should take a quick exit, or the quickest exit as possible. The king is dead. The king is dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying day one, you killed the Supreme Leader. If no Americans has died, I'm saying you took out 40 of the top leaders in Iran. But I'm saying what the Iranians said, what law did we break? What international law did we break? What country were we attacking? They saying, Ghost, President Trump attacked us because we attacked Iraq. You see, it's their argument. It's a very weak argument. We know about the terrorist cells that the Iranians have. We know about Hamas. We know about years and years and years of Iran starting military conflict with its neighbor, being a bully. screaming death to Israel, screaming death to America. We know about that. So if you give me an opinion, that's what I'm saying. I'm separating my opinion on this. And my opinion, like studying political science and being a litigator, my opinion might be valued more than others, but it's still my opinion. I'm nobody special. If you ask me my opinion about this, I think that was necessary. Some degree of, think about it. This guy is the major antagonist in the Middle East. Yes, he is. There was more than him, though. Few guys were. Saddam Hussein was an antagonist in the Middle East. President Trump didn't have nothing to do with Saddam Hussein's death. Who can oppose his death? Who could say Saddam was a good man? Who can oppose or who can say that an Iranian regime who just killed 30,000 of their people in the last 90 days should remain in power? Who are you for? Who are you for? I'm saying, are you for the people? Or are you for civil rights? Because you got to make this make sense. Because I'm saying the same people who fussing at President Trump are the same people who fussing at him about Alex Peretti getting killed or Renee Good. So if you don't want a government or government agents or government officials, if you don't want them killing civilians, then I'm saying, why would you be for a man staying alive after he killed 30,000? More than 30,000. And we talking about one recent incident or a set of incidents in a few days or months, weeks. 30,000, over 30,000. Why would you be for, who's going to say something to protect him? You see what I'm saying? But I know people that they're going to be, because it's so political. So I'm saying, number one, I'm giving President Trump strategy. My political, this is analysis of the situation. Number one, President Trump, why you need to make a quick exit, the legality of it. You see what I'm saying? If he comes in with the White House lawyers and they tell me, according to international law, President Trump didn't have to go to the United Nations, no sort of resolution was needed, and President Trump can unilaterally attack them, you know what I'm saying? Or he could say, hey, Ghost, there's a law on the books that say Iran can't have no nuclear weapon because Iran lying. Y'all know how it's just like any other thing, brother. Iran's gonna lie. They're gonna say, hey, we're not trying to make nuclear weapons. Why are you enriching uranium over 5% then? We're not trying to make nuclear weapons. Why do you have uranium enriched 60% over 60%? You see what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense, but you know what they're going to say. You know there's always going to be naysayers to what you're trying to do. Always. You got to be aware of that. So that's what I'm saying. Reason number one of my three reasons is legality. Let's get back to the story. U.S. military forces hit Iranian missile sites. Once again, this is Washington Post. It was posted today. It's air defenses and command and control centers for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, U.S. Central Command said in a statement. Western airstrikes on Saturday targeted top commanders at Iran's main intelligence agency, a senior Western security official told the Washington Post. The U.S. in recent weeks amassed an immense strike force in the region while pressing Iran to dismantle its nuclear program in negotiations that failed to reach a resolution. That's what I'm saying. It don't matter where you stand at right now, that's what I started with, politically. Democrat, Republican. If you are Iranian, if you are Russian, if you are Chinese, it don't matter where you stand at as far as what President Trump has done in the Israelis to this point. The Supreme Leaders did. The point, what I'm saying is moving forward. Moving forward, their opinion does matter at this point. So what I'm trying to say is at this point, You want to dismantle their nuclear program. I'm saying that might sound similar to some people like saying Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. And what we did in, you see what I'm saying? But now, like again, if you, I'm torn. If you ask me my opinion about it, we want death to America, death to Israel. You want that to have a nuclear weapon? I'm saying you don't even want that to have enriched uranium. Like you want, like you want to pay them money. You giving money to Israel. Maybe you need to give the money to Iran so they won't make nuclear weapons. Like we'll make y'all richer than you ever dreamed of if you don't make the nuclear weapons, buddy. That's what I'm saying. So I understand where he's coming from, like my opinion, but my opinion, like I said, number one, was illegal. They're gonna try to attack you. If I'm advising him, I'm trying to stop him from them attacks, because when I finish reading in just a second, and when I get to reason 2 and 3, you're going to understand. It's going to make a lot of sense. Ghost of litigator, let me litigate my case. Them attacks against him are coming. And retaliatory attacks, Washington Post again, y'all. Iran fired missiles at Israel and at least 7 Arab states on Saturday. The United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Kuwait confirmed this, while Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Jordan, and Qatar said they intercepted missiles. Israel's emergency service reported 1 person killed in a missile strike in central Tel Aviv and more than 100 injured by retaliatory strikes. So, hey, that's the price you pay on day one. You had 100 Israelis injured. That could be 100 Israelis dead. By the grace of God, they said only 1 dead, but 100 injured. I don't know how you get 100 injured and ain't no more gonna die. But we gonna find out. In Dubai, a prominent hotel was hit. I want a safe nation, and that's what we're gonna have, Trump told the Post after announcing the start of major combat operations. President Trump announcing the start of major combat operations on day one. You got 100 Israelis killed. They shooting rockets in these little rich Muslim countries. They ain't used to all this stuff. It's like America fighting the war. At least Israel fighting it. They paying the price. 100 Israel. America fighting the war. I'm saying American troops. They can't hit American troops. They ain't got nothing that can hit the United States. Israeli Defense Forces said in a statement that they eliminated 7 Iranian senior officials, including the secretary, the Iranian Security Council, the commander of Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, and the defense minister of Iran. I don't see how Iran don't strike back in ways that we can't imagine. I'm saying if I got 200 ballistic missiles or more, and I'm saying I know these crazy Americans and these crazier Israelis, they finna hit, I'm talking about trying to hit 500 sites or more in a day. Boy, you ain't gonna have no ballistic missiles in a couple of days. See, they need ghosts. Everybody need ghost strategy. So what I'm saying, every single missile that you had, I'm just gonna get rid of 100 of them gone. Kamikaze pilots, yeah, to them aircraft carriers. I'm saying, because if you sit there, America and Israel together, they are going to walk the dog on you. I'm talking about the diggity dog. You want to get my opinion? Who want Ghost's opinion? Y'all want my opinion? And my opinion, we still on the legality. We ain't got to number 2. On my opinion, I say my opinion about the situation. I mean, think about China and Russia now. That's their strong ally. Say if, listen to this profound right here. Say if a new international order is being wrote due to the actions of Vladimir Putin. That's what's going on. So Vladimir redrawing international borders in Ukraine, and China introduced as a new nuclear power, superpower, the second largest economy in the world behind the United States. It's three trilateral powers in the world. The other two powers reintroduced Russia and introduced China. The other two powers, their little homeboy, he like a little troublemaker. He be messing with our allies. We talking about Iran. That's Russia and China's homeboy. Geopolitically, those are your two rivals. Why not stump on one of their allies? This is a dirty game. It's a dirty world. Y'all want to win. Y'all want America to win. Because I'm saying right now, President Trump, it's my opinion. You ask my opinion now. My opinion. Right now, President Trump is dictating on the world stage, the world order, like a king. Because I'm saying that's your friend. Imagine if that was, listen, this is what I'm saying. You got to understand the real power. Understand the real power. Imagine if Russia or China had dropped a bomb on like France and killed Macron. What you think President Trump gonna do? Because I know what Ghost gonna tell President Trump. I'm telling you, I don't care if the world gonna end, y'all better get saved. Because President Trump, we ain't finna, it ain't no way, not on NATO, not on one of us, it ain't finna happen. I'm saying this your ally. We just seen the Supreme Leader. How many times I want to show y'all? Want me to show you him and Putin and him and Xi? That's they boy. The last time America bummed and he was smart, he got out of there. President Trump played a trick on him. You know what I'm saying? They act like they trying to make a deal with him. He feeling comfortable, like he still got some days before he got to make that decision. And President Trump got smart. Don't be announcing what you finna do. Go ahead and pop him in the mouth. He out of here, boy. He on the other side. Deaf to who? Deaf to who? Now you ask me my opinion. As a veteran of the United States military, a patriot who love America, who want America to win, respecting human rights, I respect it more than you. Because I'm saying the Iranian, that supreme leader, he would kill his people for protesting. You know, how you gonna protect, how y'all defending that? So we talking about still, though, the legality of it. So we could go ahead and skip stories because we kind of know what that is. You know what I'm saying? He did. You know, I'm trying to see what else going on. Let's see. Iran state broadcaster reported the death toll from the strikes has reached 201 dead, 747 injured, citing figures from the Iranian Red Crescent Society. See, when you talk about the legality, because this is how they going to attack you. I'm just waiting on it. Ghost just waiting on it. Oh, they struck a hospital, bro. They struck them dirty Americans, them dirty Israelis. They struck a hospital. And then they gonna put, look, they already said like just a few months ago, last year, that Bibi was starving. I did live streams telling Bibi to stop starving them Palestinian kids. Y'all remember that? Ghost did live streams about that. So I'm saying they were just saying Bibi was starving the children like 6 months ago or so. So I can't wait to see on TV, Al Jazeera, them showing little Palestinian kids blown up with one arm due to these dirty Israelis and American bombs. So when you start see, Ghost could see further than you can. When you start showing them Palestinian children that got hit by American or Israeli military death equipment, when you start showing that on TV around the world, I'm saying the legality of those attacks internationally, it matters. I'm saying politically, we're going to get to it politically, domestically, and politically, geopolitics. That's 2 and 3. His number one reason, is the legality of it. And I'm talking about people could die or getting killed. That's very important. But my number two reason why I say President Trump, if I was advising him, was strategy. Number two, President Trump. Number one, remember legality. Opponents argue that striking a sovereign country and executing its leader was a violation of international law. Number two, politically. Let's talk about in the United States. The politics of this can get very, very, very nasty in the United States. The Democrats have already started voicing opposition, and the American First crowd is soon to follow. You say, Ghost, the Democrats voicing opposition? Yeah, they voicing opposition. Our source is the U.S. News, and this was published yesterday on the 28th. This is day one. What's the advice to President Trump? Ghost is giving y'all 3 reasons why he should exit the scene as fast as possible. As fast as possible. Now, y'all hear Ghost now. I told y'all before he did it, I knew he was going to do it. I don't have nothing against him doing it. That Supreme Leader, see, it's difference between my opinion and the analysis of the situation are 2 different things. On the opinion level, yeah, that's my boy, Big President T. He struck him in the mouth. Yeah, he ain't no coward. And then that's Russia and China homeboy. They trying to ruffle their face. Man, can you imagine the fear in the heart of every dictator around the world, boy? You understand that? We snatched Maduro in the middle of the night. I'm saying we killed the Supreme Leader. I'm talking about just drop a bomb on him. You know what I'm saying? Some people, it ain't funny, but I'm saying he yelling death to America and death to Israel. He be shooting rockets at everybody. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. He ain't no nice dude. But I mean, your bombs, it's going to kill civilians. That's the cost of war. So I'm saying they're going to use that against you with the United Nations. They're going to try to, President Trump, what I'm saying, you got to understand that they declare you a war criminal. You're not never going to get arrested, just like Bibi won't never get arrested, but you got business Trump Towers in other countries across the world. That'll affect your business. I'm saying, so the legality of that, it matters. International, that's what I'm talking about. Now, we talking about number 2, politically. This is the second reason I can advise him. The Democrats already speaking out against it. The Democrats are going to, not only are the Democrats going to focus on the legality of it as far as international law, the Democrats are going to say within America, U.S. News, the source, it was published yesterday, okay? It wasn't sanctioned by Congress. So what Trump is doing is on his own term. It's making him a fascist, and it's making the country into a fascist state, said Sue Johnson, a protester. Protester? What? You talking about day one? Hey guys, I know if y'all don't rock with Ghost, I hope y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And whenever you guys get a second, what I want you to do is I just want you to go to the live streams on the tab and just scroll up, and you can see within, yeah, y'all know I already told y'all President Trump, like, what was coming down the pipeline. Did I not, y'all? Yeah, somebody down there, they know. Because y'all know I said, hey, Big President T, listen here. I'm talking about before you even get started. Thank you for that donation, baby. Because y'all know I know. I told President Trump, I said, hey, President T, listen. So, because somebody down there, they know I said this. They've been following this content. So we just here. That's how the prediction works. That's how the strategy works. It's not a football game, so you can't pinpoint it. It's just sometimes I can't pinpoint it. And when I do, I tell y'all, hey, y'all remember this now. Y'all stay with me now. I can give you the way. It wasn't sanctioned by Congress. I wasn't even thinking like that. That's not even something I would have said. It wouldn't have even brought up to my imagination. I know now the Democrats I know what they believe in, and I know what they stand for, and I know, number two, the strategy exit politically. Ghost told you this. We not even to the MAGA people. We not to the American First people, because we hadn't heard from Nick Fuentes. But I told you guys about Nick Fuentes, and he was a strong ally of President Trump and how he opposes this war. Go ask Marjorie Taylor Greene. Go ask the American First people. You talking about a prolonged military conflict with Iran every single day. Those crowds. Listen, on day one, we protested peacefully. You got to understand, President Trump is not the most popular president in U.S. history. I think he can I think he could tell you that. You just got to put this in your analysis and your strategy. That's why if I was able to see it before it happened, I could see you in it and I could see you through it. So this is where you're standing at right now. On day one, they just peacefully protest. And it's mainly just Democrats. You know what I'm saying? AOC speaking out. Yeah, she a leader in the Democratic Party. Mandami speaking out. Yeah. Governor Newsom speaking out. Yeah. That's day one. It's the leaders. Day two, the chorus gonna start chiping in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else gonna speak out. Day one, I heard VP Harris and Jasmine. I forgot about them. I heard them speaking out. Day two, the chorus gonna start. See, right now, the media, they're just reporting what's going on. You see what I'm saying? They're probably not really reporting the protest. They ain't got time for that. I mean, the Americans and the Israelis are striking. So that's news stories. So they got to tell the news what's going on. But behind the scenes, Ghost is trying to tell you what's coming down the pipeline. By about day 3, day 4, day 5, y'all listen to me now. Follow this. The chorus is going to start. It's going to be a light humming. You're not going to be able to, what they saying is not going to be audible, but it's going to be a light humming now. You say who the chorus is, Ghost? It's going to be Voices of Dissent. That's the chorus. See, the media, they ain't really going to be, they ain't going to, like, not on day 5, not that first week. Okay, you're going to go to the second week now, okay? Those cries, they going to start getting a little bit louder, or maybe a whole lot bit louder. In that second week, and you're going to start hearing the chorus. It's going to start becoming audible. And you're going to be, what they saying goes, I don't know, they saying off something. Off something. President Trump, you talking about a 3-week campaign? That third week, we going to hear them loud and clear. They're going to be screaming, off with his head! Off with his head! You say, this dude crazy, he don't know we okay. You play with it. I'm the one told you the Voices of Dissent was coming. President Trump, by 3 weeks, you ain't got no 4th week there. You politically, it might destroy you. You are in a election year. And I'm saying you're going to have to justify the reason that you are spending American taxpayer dollars. Can y'all imagine if we could ask how many millions, I say millions of dollars that the United States is spending per day? Per day. I'm saying you want to make a statement, just like with Maduro, like the fear is already there. You killed the Supreme Leader. The fear is there. He's dead. That's the biggest statement you can make. The majority, I'm saying within a week, everything you need to do that in a week and get up out of there. I'm saying if it was up to me, we would be there 2 or 3 more days and we gone. Israel got it from here. We playing supportive roles. We out of there. Because I'm saying, this day one. I'm talking about this guy has been yelling death to America. He's the largest state sponsor of terror. He killing his own people. And scores of protests, according to U.S. News published yesterday, were sponsored by a coalition of left-wing groups, including the Answer Coalition, the National Iranian American Council, 50501, American Muslims for Palestine, the People's Forum, Palestinian Youth Movement, Code Pink, Black Alliance for Peace, and the Democratic Socialists of America. You guys know the Democratic Socialists of America, that's Mandami's party. The coalition listed other emergency protests on Saturday, including in Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Cincinnati, Denver, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Miami, Minneapolis. Hold up, we're not finished here. You see why number 2, I'm talking about politically. We talking politically. Others will be held on Sunday, this day too. Oh, they just now protesting. Listen, they protesting day one, the actions on day one. They protesting the actions on day one. Oh, you gonna bum them again on day 2? Oh, so that you giving them a reason to start keep protesting. And they protesting and they going home and they telling their friends and a couple of more stragglers and people coming out the wood testing the protest. What y'all think they gonna do? You keep dropping the bombs. What you think the protest gonna do? They gonna get smaller. The more bombs in Iran you drop, what you think the protest gonna do? They gonna get smaller or bigger? What y'all think? Others on Sunday in smaller cities, including Albany, New York, right up the street from us, Ellensburg, Virginia, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Decatur, out, Gainesville, Florida, and Springfield, Missouri. Protests already started. You know what I'm saying? I said the legality of it internationally, because in my opinion, that matters if you kill children and if you kill civilians while you dropping bombs. Number 2, politically, domestically. I told y'all I could get nasty in the United States. The Democrats voicing opposition. We're going to play a little bit of that. You know, I told you about the protests, and the American First crowd is soon to follow. Libertarians, go put a microphone in front of Elon Musk and ask him does he think it's the right thing to do for America to spend $18 million per day in Iran dropping bombs. Another Middle Eastern, and I'm saying, for what? You killed a Supreme Leader. I'm saying you could kill everybody you need to about 3-4 days and let Israel finish that. Get on down. But I'm saying instead you saving money now. You burning food because you don't want to waste money. But yet and still you spending taxpayer dollars in the Middle East fighting this war. See, this is where I'm at. If you ask me for my analysis, it's different from my political opinion. My personal opinion and my political opinion are two totally different things. Because, see, that's what America First going to say, President Trump. They going to hit you with that price tag, that money you spending on them bombs. How is that America First? How is that America First? You say that you don't want him to have a nuclear weapon. I'm saying, why? Like I said, y'all heard me say this. Why the United Kingdom ain't dropping no bombs? America, we got the first 3 days. How many countries in NATO? Y'all saying that the Europeans are weak. So the Europeans are weak. So check this out. America, we got the first 3 days. We going to drop bombs for the first 3 days. Bam, 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 bam. We dropping bombs first 3 days. Spending all our money. He talking about Joe Biden giving the money to Ukraine. But I'm saying if this is a problem for the world, what nation in the world? Because I'm saying he right now in Iran, he ain't got no missiles that could hit America today. Does he? No, he don't. Because if he did, he would have been shooting them. You feel me? I don't have to look that up. I got common sense. So what I'm saying is if he got a nuclear weapon today, I'm sure he probably got a missile that could come close to Europe and not hit Europe. And definitely all his neighbors are in danger, especially Israel. If he got a nuclear weapon, I understand Israel over there, they sacrificed 100 citizens. So we're not going to talk about Israel, but what about the United Kingdom? What about France? It's not in their interest that I'm saying Europe declared that got the whole army of Iran a terrorist organization. And I'm saying President Trump, he getting at Joe Biden for the money he's spending in Ukraine, but he finna spend millions of dollars dropping bombs to solve a problem that is in the interest of the whole world, or is it? Because if it was in the interest of the whole world, you're gonna be back. If we were sure of that, you wouldn't need me to advise him, number one, the legality of it. Because see, if he would have went to the other countries, if he would have made sure it was legal, he would have got consensus from the other country and resources. Because I'm saying, where Germany at? You know what I'm talking about? I'm saying, where the Jordanian planes at? You know, he over there bombing them. He bombing Jordan. He in Qatar. Aren't they buying F-35s from America? I'm saying they don't have F-35 pilots. They don't need no active training right now. So why the Jordanians ain't flying sorties over Iran? I'm saying why Qatar isn't? Who else? Saudi, I know. What man? Where MBS at? Come on, MBS. I know you went after the Houthis. You show for the first time ever, you showing Saudi might, Saudi power. You want to become somebody on the world stage, MBS. Why? Hit President Trump line and say, hey, Saudi Arabia, man, we finna go fly some sorties. Y'all, they all these countries he attacking with the American military bases, they all got American military equipment. They got the same equipment that the United States has. So why they don't go hit Iran? Why don't they pick? All you need the Americans to do is to direct the bombs day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. Why they ain't hitting Iran? You see that America first. It's politically. And my number 3 reason, the third reason is geopolitically. And we'll have to go a little deep with this one and I have to do a little explaining. Killing a nation leader at will strikes fear in the hearts of all third world leaders. Do you guys agree with that? This is a President Trump who went and snatched, well, good morning, NTZ Claus, who went and snatched Maduro. This is a President Trump, who then killed the Supreme Leader, even though the Israelis do, they go, So I'm saying they thinking president, now he eyeballing Cuba. The Colombian president, he ran to. The Venezuelan Dulce Rodriguez, everybody playing, President Trump, so it put fear in the hearts. Y'all agree with that? This is my point, though. Xi and the Chinese, and they say, Ghost, why he always talking about the Chinese? Because they're my biggest rivals. I'm different than you. I'm going to observe my opponent and my opponent's moves. Not from a standpoint of trying to, telling President Trump he need to, if you could get the ups on China, you can. But if Xi getting the ups on you, I'm going to tell you. Because I want America to win. But what I'm saying is China's approach to conflict resolution at this time, appears much milder than President Trump's. Now, somebody tell me what I said that's wrong. Because I know some Trump or some MAGA or some whatever, because we got all kind of people in this stream, Democrats. So tell me what I said is wrong. President Xi, his approach. Y'all tell me when the last time China has been in a military conflict. When y'all see China going to snatch somebody president. I ain't nobody know China. I'm America all the way, baby. I love my country more than you. I'm just smarter than you, and I'm trying to give the presidential advice. This on a level above you. You can learn something, though, on this vertical live feed right here in the car. So she looking much milder than you, President Trump, much milder. She looked like she looked like the old American presidents, and President Trump, you look like, I don't know, Vladimir or something. Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with you. He needs to show American dominance. I just got to tell y'all the facts. This the facts. So what I'm saying, if I'm a third world country and I'm scared of this tyrant American, and I'm looking over there at China and Xi, the Chinese option don't look that bad no more. Because we know Xi ain't going to come snatch. This is what they saying. Iran saying, the nations of the world saying, listen, we could get a nuclear weapon and Xi ain't going to come snatch us from out of our house. We know that. You know what that could do? That could drive America's opponents towards China. On the global market, we talking about financially, where America and China are competing financially. America's military actions can make them third world countries, along with President Trump. President Trump just is aggressive financially. Tell me where I'm wrong at with those tariffs. Real aggressive with those tariffs. So I'm saying those third world countries, America is looking less and less like an option for them to deal with. This man, he gonna come snatch us out our house. We try to do trade with him. If he think we making one more dollar than him, he gonna tax us. Man, where Chi at, man? Pick up the phone, man. Let's call Chi, man. Chi ain't gonna come snatch us out the house. You know what I'm saying? Chi, man, like he gonna try to Chi here, let us get some money. He'll borrow money, man. And Chi and them, they'll come over here and build stuff. And all they stuff all modern and stuff. They got AI and all they stuff. They using AI, man. Where the phone at? Let's call Chi, man. Where Chi at, man? Chi real cool, man. Chi laid back. Let's call Chi, man. This Trump dude, he old cowboy. These old cowboys over here, man. Them cowboys running America now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying for President Trump, for you to tell me, y'all get in the comments, tell me what I'm saying is wrong. How am I viewing this politically? My opinion is different. My opinion going to go hard right on this issue. My opinion is going to go hard right. Yeah, smack the taste buds out of it. That's where my personal opinion going to go. But my political opinion will be very much more measured. My political opinion is not going to sound like it's right or left. It's going to have a little sprinkle of what the Democrats saying. It's going to have a little sprinkle or a lot sprinkle of what the independents and a little sprinkle of the Republicans. Because look, this is what I'm saying. If you could choose not to listen to the Democrats, I'm going to listen to what they're saying. The protests, you got to listen to them. They're going to make you hear their voice. And what I'm saying, to me, that whole situation, that whole scenario, it could turn ugly. Politically, it could turn nasty. And I'm saying geopolitically, see, I told y'all about the predictions. These kind of predictions geopolitically, President Trump will be long gone. These kind of predictions geopolitically, you will never hear about. How many of y'all know how weak the US dollar is right now? Y'all jump down in the chat and let me know. How many of y'all know how weak the US dollar is right now? See, those kind of things, you're not going to hear about that. How America's power is slipping. They're not going to tell you. I'm saying y'all hear ghosts all the time. If y'all on Legal Wars Live, y'all hear ghosts. I mean, we heard about Mark Carney. That's just a unique situation where he went over to the Chinese because President Trump was bullying them and picking on them. And now Canada driving them, they making a deal to have them Chinese EVs. I'm saying it would have been nice for Tesla and Ford and, you know what I'm saying, like all them companies to get American EVs, make a deal to sell American EVs, but instead they buying Chinese. That's what I'm saying. We know about stuff like that, but this stuff I'm telling y'all about, were Vietnam. That President Trump, he had a problem with the South American nations trading with China, but I'm saying his actions can arbitrarily push. You got to be aware of that. So that's all I would do if I was a strategist for President Trump. I'm gonna run it down real quick, and I'm gonna jump down in the comments and see what y'all saying. My comments for President Trump, my strategy. The reason why I say you need to get out of there as fast as possible. Number one, legality. As the days go on, see if you in there and out. Just like Maduro. I said this in a live stream, if y'all remember. If you go in there, you snatch them, and by the time everybody find out what's going on, it's over with. It don't matter how you feel. It's done. What can you do about it? But I'm saying you got live action. We know tomorrow we going to wake up and he going to be striking Iran. Okay, the opposition, they plotting on you now because you all the way in this. It's not no one-off situation. They plotting on you. You got to be aware of this. So just be prepared for the propaganda to start and for them to say that your bombs are killing children. And then y'all understand the legality internationally. I don't know. Y'all down in the comments, maybe he went to the UN and he got permission or he got a resolution or some charter, some one of them UN words. Maybe he did. I didn't hear nothing about it, though. So that I was just legality internationally. Pay attention to that because they're going to try to work that against you. They posting them bombs, your bombs killing civilians. That's going to look ugly internationally on the legal. So number two, legally, politically, too. Because the Democrats saying you didn't go to Congress. And the Democrats saying, why in the world would you attack a sovereign leader for no reason? And the protests have started. America First hadn't chimed in, but when America First chimed in, it's going to become another problem because we're going to be wondering why you talking about saving money and you spending all this money on these bombs. See, we're not going to talk about how much money he spent on a one-day operation with Maduro, but I'm saying if you're doing this every day, I'm saying you cut Medicaid, you cut Medicare, but you dropping bombs. I'm saying every day you spend over there, if you spend 18 million, these not exact figures. I'm just making the speed. It could be much lower, or I doubt it, but it could be much higher. You talking about the whole operation, them 2 aircraft carriers. One of them aircraft carriers finna set a record. It's been out there for 10, not out there, but they've been out for 10 months. I mean, they need to get switched out or something. 10 months? Come on, man. I know Gerald Ford, President Trump, want the biggest, baddest, strongest, but you gotta think them sailors, bro, they 10 months? You had them out and see 10 months straight? Bro, come on, President Trump, you gotta pull them back in. I know you Iran, you could tap them out, put a different aircraft carrier, let the Gerald Ford come on for a month or two at least. Shoot. You know, I'm a veteran. I'm going to stand up for them. Y'all got to know goals. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to be on the side of what. When I heard that, they said, what? That aircraft carrier it's finna set a record for being out there, for being at sea. What? Usually they out goes for about 3 to 6 months. They've been out 10 months. What? Boy, okay, great job with Maduro, but now you stunting. Okay, they hit Iran, man, you need to tag them boys out. Let them boys go. Man, come on, man. Don't do them like that. Anyways, though, number 2, though, how MAGA gonna get on them? MAGA gonna be like, man, he's spending that money. America First people, not MAGA, excuse me. I don't know if they're the same, different. I don't know what's going on. You know, they're gonna be like spending that money. You know, you cut Medicaid, but you spending the money on bombs. You cut Medicare, but you spending the money on bombs. Health insurance is high. You spending the money on bombs. You bombing OPEC, so gas probably gonna go higher. working against yourself. The gas price is gonna get higher. You spending money. They're gonna say if you keep on bombing, it's gotta affect the stock market. I'm not somebody. I'm telling you, I understand politics. I studied this. I know this. I ain't gotta look at no stock market. I ain't no financial guru. I ain't none of that. But I know if you keep dropping down bombs, somehow, some way, that stock market gonna get affected. And geopolitically, you looking like the boogeyman. This number 3, geopolitically. I told y'all, look at the name of the live stream. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons. Politically, not my opinion. I tell you, if y'all just coming, I told y'all my opinion now. My opinion, I'm more far right than Lindsey Graham. But I'm talking about as far as politically, strategy, political opinion, geopolitically, President Trump, you could be harming America long term. Because they're looking at you like you the boogeyman. All the third world country leaders, the Cuban leader, the Colombia leader, especially if you on this side of the world, oh man, them people, he done put the fear of God in them people, but they scared. He killing the Supreme Leader in his compound, man. Like Bin Laden dropping bombs on him. God dang. Snatching him in the middle of the night. This dude done gone crazy. See, we don't care because, we ain't going to play that in America. We should, Renee Good and Ellis Peretti, we could show you now. It could get bad. This America, we going to get down with you. Domestic politics different, though, internationally. That's something to fear. That's a lot to fear. Because if he come for you and he get on your head, I'm saying ain't nobody could save you. If you ever cross that lane, there'll be no one to save ya. I'm just saying, y'all, and that's my piece, man. That's about an hour. That's where I stand with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as President Trump striking Iran, I'm saying they didn't kill 30,000 of their own people now. So you talking about, and not only that, they killed Americans. Not only that, they killed Israelis. Not only that, they spending all the money. They could be rich, probably the richest nation in. I mean, think about it. They got their own armies that they funded. Not armies like the Iranian Republican Guard or whatever. I'm talking about armies like Hamas, terrorist organizations. You feel what I'm saying? They buying missiles. They got a bunch of missiles. They shoot, Iran. You hear about the missiles. Well, they be shooting them missiles, don't they? They got a bunch of missiles. I know they ain't, but they people, that's why they people protesting. They starving their people, though. And I'm saying, like, Khomeini, whatever that fool name is, he dead. It don't matter what his name is. He a memory. That boy he been a thorn. I'm talking about that. President Trump finished a problem that a lot of presidents had. Started in Jimmy Carter. You talking about how many years that man been ruling? Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, the first Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. Excuse me. The first Bush, Bill Clinton, I'm sorry, George. The second Bush, Barack Obama. You dig that? President Trump, President Biden, and President Trump again. And I'm saying throughout all those presidents, so don't act like this is a Republican issue. President Obama had problems with Iran too. He just chose to do it a different way because of questions of international law. That stopped a lot of presidents. We know in America, we seen President Trump, he pushed the law over here. Why wouldn't he do it internationally? But I'm saying President Trump, that's going to end up making you a war criminal. I promise you now, you keep going. They found an opportunity. They ain't going to be scared of you now. You talking about going to get Cuba, President Trump, you can't fix all the world's problem by just killing and snatching their leaders. Because I'm saying he had court papers to get Maduro. So he clearing America for doing that. Ain't nobody gonna take up for no Iranian leader. But I'm saying President Trump, it's gotta be a filter on that. It's gotta be guardrails. Because I'm saying you scaring them world leaders like that, that's not helping our cause when it come to making money. You don't want to scare people. You got to do business with them. Who going to do business with a drug lord, king, gang, thug president? They ain't going to do business with you. They going to go over there to cheat. And they going to look to cheat to protect them from big gang, thug, bad bully dude. Because listen, I'm saying like, they know Chi ain't finna come snatch him out the middle of the night. They know that. That's what I'm saying. So you got to be aware of all of these things whenever you making decisions, how it affects the United States moving forward and in the future, how it affects President Trump politically during the election year. I'm saying people are not going to vote on President Trump striking Iran, unfortunately. They're not going to vote on it. You have some people might vote on it, but the majority of Americans, they're not voting on it. If he stay over there, if he create a war like Iraq, that could become like one of the issues, or if not the issue. It could destroy the Republicans. I'm saying they already got problems. They already in hot water or underwater. I'm saying I don't see how this helps them. I'm saying I see in the psyche of a voter, I see this playing some kind of effect or some kind of, it's like whenever you hating on a person, right? You say, oh, look at Ghost, he fat and he got a big nose. You see what I'm saying? So a girl, you draw her attention to me, she might be like, man, I'm not studying that. He still look okay. And then you start dumping on her, telling her more stuff about me, more stuff about me. I'm saying it might, to a certain degree, it might seem like it might push her away from me. Is that right or wrong? I want to welcome a new member to the table, to WTF over 2. Welcome to Legal Wars Live, Legal Wars Loyalty. Any of you guys, y'all want to become a member of the channel, please hit the button with the $ in it. Your donations are much appreciated. So guys, this is a special, man. I had to come on here. I had to speak my piece, man. Like I'm an American, I'm a patriot. And if you know this man is killing, or not killing no more, had killed thousands, tens of thousands of his own citizens, man. There's no way that you cannot say or breathe a sigh of fresh air or relief. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. I'm saying like this is a bad guy who got killed. That's the game. You can't be out there yelling death to America, sir. They let you do it for how many years? 4 decades. His time was up. It came and gone. Man. 10 memberships. WTF, baby. We hadn't done that in a long time, baby. 10 memberships, man. I appreciate that so much, so much. Y'all, welcome 10 new members to Legal Wars Live. That's what we need. We need that support, baby. I'm cooking in here or what this morning? I know I was cooking that good, man. I appreciate y'all support and y'all love, man. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you guys want to become members to the channel, where WTF at, man? Got to make you a moderator, definitely. Y'all, welcome to Legal Wars Live, man. Y'all come in here anytime y'all want to, man, for sure. Y'all get down in the live stream, man. Y'all let y'all voices be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm an American, bro, and I love my country. That's number one. You see what I'm saying? That's number one. I love my country. That's number one. Number two is I want, if you love your country, you want the best for your country. I'm saying my mom lives here, my sisters, my family, everybody. This is all I know, America. You see what I'm saying? So, wanting the best for your country, in my opinion, in the system that we have and in our politics, a two-party system, you got to hear both sides of the story. You got to hear both sides. it's heartbreaking to me to hear Republicans and to them completely ignore, because it cost them. Because the American people, I'm saying, even, listen, if I was a Republican and I was a voter, I guess it depends. If you're a hardline Republican, there's only certain, like 28% of America is MAGA, man. That's 72. That's the vast majority. 7 out of 10 of Americans are not MAGA or Republicans. 7 out of 10. That's almost everybody, the majority. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a MAGA politician, or you gotta be able to listen or to hear what 70% of people. This is a representative democracy. As a president, he is supposed to be your president too. If you're a Democrat, he's supposed to be the president of all Americans. Am I right or wrong, y'all? You can't just represent 28% of Americans if you're the president. Even though, but I'm saying, so even if you don't want to do what they're saying, I'm saying you got to hear what they're saying, what they're talking about. President Trump may not have thought about the protest, but I'm just letting them know that that spirit or that energy that is opposing him, that energy and that spirit is going to grow. And it's going to grow. And I look at the growth of the opposition, there being several factors to that growth to make it to where how if it's going to amount to anything politically that'll harm him. There's several factors that I look at. Some of those factors I'm looking at, guys, is that President Trump, he gets a whole lot of hate. I mean, assassination attempts, and he'll tell you. Caroline Levitt and them will tell you, they'll say he get more hate than anybody else or a regular president. That's number one. Number two, the economy for the billionaires and the millionaires is good, but for people making $70,000 and less, they really got a whole lot of relief. So you know what I'm saying? If you got less money in your pocket, I think, you know what I'm saying, you think you was expecting dude to put more money in your pocket than he did, you know what I'm saying? There's several reasons, there's several factors that I could see at this moment. He already snatched Maduro. It's been American citizens who lost their lives in questionable ways. They already saying he was a king or he was an authoritarian. So I'm saying President Trump and them one-off for those quick hit actions, I'm saying he could keep his record impeccable. Because I'm saying he's done a lot of one-off quick hit actions. We gonna hit them boats in Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Or excuse me, them boats coming off the coast of Venezuela. Those were quick hit actions. But I'm saying a sustained military action against Iran, that opposition is only going to get bigger, and it's going to grow, and it's going to get bigger, and it's going to grow. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's very important for President Trump to be aware of that. Not to let that dictate his moves and what he knows he needs to do, but just to be aware of that. You see what I'm saying? Be very aware of that. How it can affect him politically, and how it can affect him geopolitically, and more importantly, how it can affect the United States geopolitically in the long term. You do not want to have nations scared of you and run them to China. I'm saying the tariffs, they scare you, gonna snatch them. I'm saying, President Trump, effectively, you have become the big bad bully. There is only one thing, President Trump, I need you to do before I crown you. I'll give you a crown if you do this, President Trump. And you guys who know me, y'all know what I'm finna say, because I seen Ronald Reagan do this, President Trump. I seen President Ronald Reagan do this. And you know what I seen President Ronald Reagan do? I seen him stand down the Soviet Empire, not Russia. I'm talking about a time when it was Russia, Ukraine, Czech Republic, all them nations that Putin's trying to put back together. Well, I'm talking about Russia's the biggest country in the world. Imagine if it had all those Slavic nations that used to comprise the USSR. I seen President Ronald Reagan stare down the Soviet Empire and win without a shot being fired. So, President Trump, what I need you to do, Maduro, congratulations. With Iran, I would say don't stay there too long now. If you stay, congratulations, you killed the Supreme Leader. Yeah, you made your statement. America's still dominant. But I'm saying people going to say you a war criminal. They going to say you a bully. They going to say you violate international law. The Democrats going to say you ain't going to Congress. I'm saying, so staying there too long is a problem. But President Trump, for you to get the ultimate respect for me, you're going to have to deal with Putin. Because President Trump, if you're doing all that stuff and Putin's still not scared of you and he's not respecting you, I'm saying if you're doing all that stuff and Putin still, hey, you doing that, Putin might say, or she might say, man, look, President Trump, he attacking all these countries. I know he ain't going to attack us. So this is our time right now. We might as well go ahead and hit Taiwan. Or it can have the opposite effect. President Trump might tell him not to do nothing and they might think he crazy and he might stand up or try to protect Taiwan. Who knows? It could go either or. But all I'm saying is, President Trump, it doesn't make sense for peace through strength. You ain't getting no peace in Ukraine, or you're not getting no peace in Russia by displaying American strength. All the displays of American strength that President Trump is displaying with this attack on Iran, what my question to the chat is, how has it helped him with Putin? Putin, so you think because President Trump, because Putin see President Trump grab Maduro, did it stop him in Ukraine? How many bombs did it stop him from dropping in Ukraine? Because Vladimir Putin seen President Trump kill the Supreme Leader. Now he that must have scared him. Like it's scaring the Cuban and the Colombian president, it's got to scare Putin to where he going to stop dropping. You see what I'm saying? So, President Trump, you have effectively put the fear of God in all of the third world leaders in the world. Anywhere where America operates or has a hand or send an aircraft carrier, they'll be a little intimidated across the world. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is, President Trump, is that you got to be able to deal with Russia. If you want Ghost to fully respect you, you got to be able to deal with Putin. Can't capitulate. If you capitulate to him, then, in my opinion, like, you a bully. Because I'm saying, like, you can't just pick on nations. Look, you don't look like you picking on them if you enforcing the law and you're not violating international law. You're doing what every American president really did before you. People saying America is not the world police. They're just slow. They're blind. America is the world police. America has been the world police since the 40s. That's factual. You could go back and fact check it. The U.S. military has constantly been in conflicts since after the World War. So America is the world police. But you got to be able to do that the right way. And that's my thing. And doing that the right way is making sure you legal now. You don't want to be labeled a war criminal because they're going to put you in the bully category like they do with Israel. That's why a lot of people hate Jews and hate the Israelis. You don't want President Trump to get up and walk out on you in the UN. But I'm saying, President Trump, that's going to be embarrassing for America. It probably never happened to an American president. And not only did it be embarrassing for them, President Trump, it's going to hurt your ego, man. President Trump going to try to put tariffs on. every country that walked out on him. I'm saying don't put yourself in a situation like that. And to avoid that, in my opinion, one of the ways they cannot, look, they're not stupid. We could see what's going on. We done heard President Trump call Putin and try, every time he called Putin to stop hitting Ukraine, Putin hit Ukraine harder. He called him twice. And he stopped calling them because every time President Trump called him, he hitting Ukraine harder. So what I'm saying is, President Trump, like, you got to be able to deal with Putin. And see, if you deal with Putin, I know you're not a bully. You're just fixing the problems. But I'm saying, if you doing all the little countries, but you won't deal with Putin or Xi, because it's a trilateral powers. You got Russia, America, and China. I'm saying China, see, he ain't starting nothing. Y'all saying he want to attack Taiwan. He hadn't attacked Taiwan. He ain't attacking nobody. But Russia and America is. So I'm saying, for President Trump, for you to have America the dominant power, and for you not to look like a bully, you're going to have to pick on somebody your own size. Because you got somebody out there to deal with. WTF says, anyone know how Venezuela is doing now 30 days after? WTF, from what I've heard from the people on the ground, I've heard that Venezuela is doing really well. But since you said that, sir, and since you gifted those memberships, I appreciate that so much. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see if we can find something on it on YouTube. How is Venezuela doing? Doing after Maduro? I'm saying, guys, if y'all hate President Trump, you love America, right? Don't hate the Republicans or President Trump so much to where you blinded towards your love for your nation. That's what it's all about. Stay focused on it. It's about America. So if it's about America, you want America to win now. Yeah, I hear you, Democrats, President Trump. Don't get too cowboyish and bravado-ish. And stay on that track like what you did with Maduro, like get in and out. You start talking about 2 weeks, what? 3 weeks, what? I'm saying, and if American lives start dying, that blood is going to be on whose hands? President Trump, with no blood on your hands, man, you're not in the best political situation. And the kind of person you are, not hating on him, just speaking facts, I don't see how the political situation is going to get better. You're going to keep fighting Democrats. You're going to keep. So what I'm saying is, blood on your hands looks a lot different than anything we've seen from President Trump. What American blood is on President Trump's hand? Because I'm saying Ellis Peretti and Renee Good, and we don't want to talk like that, but I'm saying you can't, if you calling the shots, and I'm saying if American troops get killed, I don't care, 5 of them, that's 5 families. That's why I said, like the Navy, you got the Navy out there, bro, for over 10 months. On the Gerald F, bro, like, so they just giving us news. And they talking about, oh yeah, the 2 aircraft carriers out there, and then I heard they've been on they've been on 10 months on the Florida aircraft carrier, 10 months. And I'm saying, so what's the regular rotation? About 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months, and you had them boys out there for 10 months. Why don't you top them out? Let them boys go home. See what I'm saying? Like, that's the morale for him. I know President Trump, he loved that aircraft carrier. It's a powerful aircraft carrier. But my boy WTF, he asked, how is Venezuela doing since the attacks? So we're going to listen to this. This is a YouTube video. I'm sure I could do a Google search, but let's just see how they're doing. Guys, y'all forgive me. I'm going to play this audio for us so we can hear how they're doing.
The Energy Secretary just arrived with the interim president, and they're here to talk about this oil. Even though we bombed Caracas and took Maduro, We're now best friends because of oil and resources. Now, for a look inside Venezuela after Maduro's abduction, please enjoy this very special episode of Shane Smith Has Questions, shot during the U.S. Energy Secretary's unprecedented visit to Caracas.
The United States is in their driver's seat and using, as the Secretary said to me on the side after this talk, we've got leverage and we'll use it.
And we got Speed. You ready for this? Bango. Here we go. All right. We just had a press conference here in Caracas, Venezuela, with the Secretary of Energy, who we flew down with from the States. He met with the acting president. Hi, Shane Smith, Vice News, here at the Presidential Palace in Caracas, Venezuela, for the first high-level talks between America and Venezuela since 2019, and definitely since Maduro was taken by the American government. So we have the acting president.
So, guys, if you watch the video, you could go on and watch the video. I would say the Venezuelan people are in a much better, 1,000,000 times better, WTF. Thank you for that question. 1,000,000 times better position than they are. The energy secretary from the United States went down there. So basically what they're doing, they're going to rebuild the infrastructure for Venezuela. They're going to start exporting Venezuela oil. They already started putting it on the world market. I can't tell you yet. I don't know if anyone knows, but since you said that, I'll find out. We could find out the percentages that the Americans are going to get and the Venezuelans going to get. WTF, what I would want to say, I know Secretary Rubio is very busy, but if I could give him advice, I could tell him what I would say to him is please watch for corruption, sir. Please make sure that the sitting president, Delcy Rodriguez, don't continue doing what Maduro was doing and steal the profits and the oil money that they're finna make, because they're about to make a whole lot of money. If you guys don't know. ExxonMobil, I'm saying, please. No, there's two things you need to watch out for that, WTF. Number one, make sure that you don't get, if you're America, if you're ExxonMobil, if you're any of these big oil companies, please make sure y'all snatch the president. Understand what's going on. Make sure you're not getting over on the Venezuelan people or on the Venezuelan government. You're stealing their resource or taking their resources or using their resources or helping them sell their resources, however you want to categorize it. And number two is please, 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 that money y'all give to the Venezuelan government, make sure that the people are getting the money. That's the whole reason President Trump went over there. I'm sure eventually they're going to have elections in Venezuela. President Trump, I heard Secretary Rubio say that they want stability first. So the country is continuing to stabilize, is going to normal. There's not any sort of uprising or unrest that's above what you would expect a situation like that. So I'm saying, if you looking at overall, if we got to give President Trump a grade on the operation up to this point, WTF, I'm saying, like, there's really not too many negatives you could come out of that Venezuela operation. As far as the full political opinion, not my personal opinion, political opinion I could give on the attack, we'll just have to see how it turns out and how it plays out. That's what I'm saying. Whenever you make a move like that, if you a television president or if you a television administration, it looks so cool whenever a boat is being blown out the water. That looks really cool. You see what I'm saying? That's good TV. It's like, wow, y'all see that? They're blowing boats out the water. You see what I'm saying? Or if you a television president, when 2 American citizens get killed by ICE, I'm saying, like, that, I mean, that you bucking against the Democrats, you a television president, you dropping big bombs on Iran, that looks spectacular, but you're not solving the problem. You a television president, you going to snatch Maduro, goodness gracious, they snatched him in the middle of the night, nobody got killed. That looks like spectacular. But what I'm saying is the work that has to be done with and behind and during that, that's what's important. That's what we need to focus on. Because if you take too much money from the Venezuelan people, some news journalists, just like the man WTF asked, somebody's going to ask that question. What they're going to do, they're going to end up going down to Venezuela, and they're going to discover that you're stealing money from the people. That's going to look real bad. And on President Trump, it don't matter how flawless the execution. It don't matter if you get a conviction on Maduro. I'm saying if you went down there and stole their money, stole their oil. So I'm saying, number two, if you don't steal the money and the oil, and you give the Venezuelan people a fair cut, what I'm saying, even giving them a fair cut in that kind of situation that I'm talking about, like you got to make sure the Venezuelan people, that money's actually getting to the people. That's complicated stuff. If you know what you're doing, it could be done easily. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably, if you need to hire more people in the State Department, whatever you got to do, you got to get it done. So I'm saying President Trump, he's got to see that through completely throughout the time he's in office. So he owes that to the Venezuelan people because he went and made that move. Just like, in my opinion, the Israelis and President Trump and them, they're going to owe something to the Iranian people if they went and removed their leaders. They don't. I'm saying, listen, like, okay, somebody come over here, Putin, he go kill Zelensky. He don't feel like he own nothing to the Ukrainian people because he gonna try to take over their country, but he becomes the leader. I'm saying if you gonna go over there, like somebody come kill President Trump, I'm saying, or they come kill our leaders, I'm saying what they trying to do, they not taking over our country. Well, then what's the purpose of killing the leaders? Oh, y'all have bad leaders, so we gonna put like, yeah, there's the you want to put new, you gotta make sure. Listen, if there's a problem in this area, okay, there's a problem in Iran with Supreme Leader, and I'm saying, like, this is, in my opinion, that's an infected area. If that area is infected, you removing the leadership, that could pave ground or way for another leader to come in and take over who isn't into religion, but he hates Israel 10 times worse. He's been taught since a child that America and Israel are the devil and evil. So he isn't into religion as much, so he might look like he's more secular because he ain't into religion. But he got the same hate for America and Israel that they've had for generations. And now he ends up becoming power. You're going to get the strongest person probably in a country like that that's going to end up coming to power. And the strongest person isn't going to be like Barack Obama or Joe Biden. And they probably going to be worse than President Trump is what I'm saying. But that worse than President Trump isn't going to be love for American and against American enemies. It's going to be hate for America. He's going to be wiser. He's going to learn from the mistakes that the Ayatollah and them made in the previous regime. And I'm saying you're going to have the same problem that you had before. You're not fixing the problem. You're just doing something for TV. I'm saying you recognizing a problem that a Democrat probably ain't recognizing. You making moves. So you ain't just recognizing the problem, you acting on the problem. But if you don't do it correctly and you don't carry and see it through, if it turns bad, it's going to kill your legacy. That'll kill his legacy. That Iranian situation could turn horrible. That'll kill his legacy. That Venezuela situation, it'd be 10 years down the road. Them big moves he making, it's bigger than they seem. They're bigger than they seem. Just because they're not in America, you see what I'm saying? Just because it's not the stock market, or just them moves are a lot bigger than what they seem, especially for his name. You got to think that he's not just a politician. Say if Joe Biden or if they don't think that deep. Y'all like somebody like you know it. Ghost thinks like that. Say if it's just Joe. Say if it's Barack Obama. Okay? And say Barack Obama, what he did in Libya. But Iran is much bigger than Libya. Iran was the biggest antagonist against America and Israel, America's interests in the Middle East. You got to understand that. And he going after the biggest. But say, what I'm saying is say it comes out 10 years from now that Iran is in much worse situation, that America is still in Venezuela's oil. And the Venezuelan people got a worse leader and their country's worse. Everything is worse. Say Iran get a nuclear weapon. They got a terrorist type leader. 10 years, President Trump gone. And they'll bring that out on the me. I'm saying you got a business. Barack Obama don't have no businesses. He don't own no business. So I don't see how that affects him too much. What, they gonna stop paying him to do television appearances, or they gonna stop paying him to come do speeches? He not gonna be able to collect his $2-3 million a speech or however much he get. I'm saying, yeah, it might hurt him a little bit like that. But I'm saying President Trump, they said him and his sons made $1.5 billion. So I was gonna say they're making hundreds of millions, but they might be up to making billions a year. So I'm saying any little thing in money, they in business, those things can affect your money. When your legacy, his legacy matters a little different than other presidents, because his organization still that name, that Trump name, that's their signature and trademark. They got a family crest, for goodness sakes. How many of y'all in here got a family crest? Even if I had one, I probably wouldn't even know about it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, yeah, man, all that stuff, that different kind of stuff, it matters a lot, man. It matters a lot. You said, listen, who said I didn't think it was going to work out? I appreciate that comment, though. You know what I'm saying? Loki says, why do I say that I don't think it's going to work out? Did I ever say I don't think it's going to work out? That's not what I said. I'm just saying, I don't, look, you saying it's going to work out. There's no way that it cannot work out. We're not going to know how the final situation is going to end. That's going to take a long time. Okay? That'll be much longer than the midterm elections or after the midterm elections. It's going to take a while for us to know that. What Ghost is saying is that politically, it can harm him in the short term politically. That's what I'm looking at, is how can it affect him politically? How can it affect America on an international stage? Long term, short term. I'm just looking at the effects of the actions. I'm not saying that I don't think it's going to work out. I'm not saying that I don't have confidence in President Trump. I'm not saying, as far as the long-term effects, I'm saying, okay, so looking at it from a practical standpoint, is it legal for you to go arbitrarily attack a sovereign nation because you saying that they almost had an atomic bomb? I'm saying that's just like the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I'm saying how can you prove how close they were to having an atomic bomb? Can you prove that? So you can't prove that. So your reason is because you're saying they finna get a nuclear weapon. But I'm saying, you got to think about that. You're not able to prove that. I'm talking about, you guys think about when the dust settles. I know a lot of y'all don't think about that. You can't prove that. And then you over here, and I'm saying, if you state the law, every day you drop a bomb, there's a greater chance that you finna kill more children. You finna kill more Iranian people, regular citizens. Some, and a lot of these people who don't have nothing to do with this, they glad that the Ayatollah did. But you dropping bombs everywhere, and you gonna kill people, regular people, when you drop bombs. That's just how it goes. So that's what I'm saying. Every day that you there, I'm not saying that it's not gonna work out in the end, but you know how when you went and attacked them on that first day, and on that first day you attacked them, you sat there and you waited because you weighed the military options. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, once you did it, I know you waited for the however 3 weeks or however long the campaign gonna be, But I'm saying you attack on day one. I'm saying you wait a military options for day two, for day three, and I'm saying there's things that's gonna come up, show up, and appear that you ain't playing for. And some of those things are gonna be people are not really asking. The legal question you hearing about is in America. And what they're saying is in America, did he go to Congress and have the authority? He declaring a war. He's attacking them. He don't have no proof. He ain't showed the American no proof of how close they were to enriching uranium. He ain't showing us nothing. He just attacking them. So you saying in America, does he have authorization to do that? No. 1,000 presidents done that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, I mean, that's really not going to really hurt him. The Republicans got the authority. The Democrats trying to get, it's not going to. So I'm saying, what's going to happen? Election day, that's the only thing that can affect him in America. So how am I saying it's not going to work out? What I'm saying, more so internationally, being aware of what you're doing internationally, he's not paying attention to that because he never had to pay attention to that. And I know what I'm talking about because I heard Stephen Miller say before, who's going to do something to America? I heard him say that. Stephen Miller, his advisor, legal dude, who's going to do something to America? No one's going to attack America. But if you're thinking like that with a cowboy mentality and you dropping bombs daily, every innocent civilian that you kill, and you didn't have the legal authority with the United Nations to do that. Or did he? Maybe he did. Maybe y'all know something I did. I'm not saying I don't think it's going to work out. I'm saying that I do think it's going to work out. Just don't stay there for that long. What's wrong with that? You could get the job. Who wants to be? Hold on. Hold on. So we're not gonna look at this present time, because we would imagine that this probably would cost more. Because back then, due to inflation, I can imagine if a cheeseburger is higher, more expensive, don't you think a bomb would be more expensive? So we're gonna say, how much did it cost? It costs the U.S. per day to bomb Iraq per day. This is AI. The cost of U.S. military operations in Iraq has varied significantly depending on the time period and the intensity of the campaign. During the height of the Iraq War, 2003 to 2011, costs were estimated at approximately, no, you didn't say that. I know you didn't say 256 million per day. I know you didn't say that. That's impossible. Later, during the 214 operations against ISIS, the cost averaged about 7.5 million a day, which increased to roughly 10 million a day as bombing campaigns intensify. So it would be safe to say, estimating that America is spending at least $8 million per day. Minimum. Safe to say. That's not counting how much you paying all those sailors and Marines on the aircraft carriers. The Gerald Ford, who's been out there for too long. That's not counting how much you paying. That's not counting none of that. $8 million per day to drop bombs. That's what I'm saying. Minimum. Low end. So you talking about spending $200, $300 million? $300 million. Let me see something. How many people could you feed with 300 million? How many Americans? America first, right? We don't want to pass out money to Americans. We just want to save 300 million so we could go drop some bombs. We don't want to pass out we can't help nobody. We can't feed nobody now. But we could spend all our money to go buy a gun. I'm saying, like, how are you much different than the Iranians? that you complaining about the Venezuela spending all the money on weapons to go fight somebody. You see what I'm saying? How many people can 200 million feed? Let's see if AI know. The number of people 200 million can feed varies drastically. New York State approximately used 200 million to provide summer food assistance to 1.5 million children for the whole summer. 200 million, you could feed 1.5 million children for the whole summer. You know what I'm saying? You could pop up with 200 million in Africa and you could feed millions of people for a month. $200 million, you could take it to Haiti. And I'm talking about it'll look like a different country. You spend the money right. You know, President Trump a builder. No, but nah, we just gonna call Haiti a blank hole country, and we gonna go spend that 200 million to drop some bombs in Iran. I'm saying that's what I'm not saying he won't be successful. I'm saying there's gonna be political consequences for him. There could be political consequences for America. And for those military generals, they don't want any kind of consequences for their soldiers, their troops, their Marines, and their pilots. They don't want no consequences. That's what I'm saying. What's the cost that America has to pay for the action or the aggression? What's the cost? That's what I'm saying. And that's pretty much all I'm saying. End student debt, universal health care. There's so many things you could do with that 200 million besides drop bombs. I'm saying if you trying to save money and do this and do that, you know, that's what I'm saying. You ask me my personal opinion, I'll tell you my personal opinion how I feel. Yeah, I feel like they did the right thing. That's the right thing. That's what I would have done if I was president. I would have done it way back then. It would have never become a problem for President Trump. I would have been got that taken care of. So I'm saying, I think he's the major antagonist. He has been for a long time. When Saddam was alive now, Saddam was a joker. He was something else now. He was a major antagonist. He might have been worse than the Iranian leader. You know what I'm saying? Like Bin Laden was one too. Gaddafi in Libya, right? President Obama, I think he did him. He was one too. So you had a few players in the Middle East were antagonists. But I'm saying Khomeini, he was like one of the last ones. You know what I'm saying? He like the last one. Supreme Leader dead. You know what I'm saying? The Iranian regime, they on wobbly legs to say the least. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to let that play out. But I'm saying, if you ask for Israel, yes, that's good for Israel. Is it good for America? I don't see how it's bad for America, but it's an active situation. So all I'm saying, you got to do the work and make sure that it turns out good. You know, not President Bush, he dropped some bombs and said mission successful, and then look how that turned out. I'm saying you end up fighting how many year war after you just dropped some bombs, successful mission. That's what I'm saying. You got to work a situation to the end. Unless President Trump does like he did in Venezuela, and it's a one-day in and out. But still, you got to work that to the end, because you got to be sure that, you know what I'm saying, the Venezuelan people benefit from what you did. WTF Over says they fed 75 people, million each person for $2.67 for an entire summer with 200 million. That's impressive. 75 million for an entire summer with 200 million. 75 million people for an entire summer. You talking about the state of California and Texas for an entire summer. But you don't have to do it here. You talking about doing it. I mean, you going if you want to make a change or an effect in the world, you gonna drop bombs. I'm saying you spending money on bombs. I'm a Christian. I believe in Christ. Like, what did Christ do? He was feeding and healing people. I believe you got to add some feeding and healing, right? If you're going to drop bombs and kick people's teeth in, don't you got to add some things that Jesus did too? You got to add some feeding people, some healing people. I'm saying you got to add some of the good stuff in there too, don't you? So I'm saying you're going to spend $200 million but you burn $500 trillion in food because when he first came in, you know, USAID, they burned a whole but tons of food. I don't want to get the number wrong, but tons of food. They burned it, incinerated it. You're trying to get rid of USAID. You burning food. Children probably starve. Oh, they're going to starve anyway. But you could spend the money on dropping bombs, though. That's what I'm saying. That's not really America first because you killed a supreme leader on day one. Like he did this in Iran before. He just didn't kill the supreme leader. You knock him back on day one. Okay, Ghost, I need more time. Day 2, day 3. So the 3 days, that's you spend 25 million or more in 3 days. Okay. You didn't accomplish. What'd you accomplish? What y'all trying to do? Israel could spend some money on day 4, 5, 6. Oh, they already spent theirs. Okay, France could spend some money on day 7, 8, 9. Great Britain, they could spend money on day 10, 11, 12. I'm saying Germany could spend some money. Everybody else spending their money dropping their bombs too. Because I'm saying you basically doing what President Biden doing. I'm not trying to repeat, but it is going back to the same thing. $200 million. You said you was against this. America first. We gonna put America first, and we not gonna be spending no money on no long-term wars, doing no law, and then it looked like we back in that situation where that's what we doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said my hood politics don't equate to geopolitics. If that's how you feel. You said I got hood politics, but my politics, there's nowhere in my politics do I kill American citizens. And anywhere in my politics, if there's an American citizen who dies at the hand of a federal agent, I would do an investigation. What looks like hood politics is when you have ICE agents shooting an unarmed man in the back, a veteran. He helping veterans at a VA hospital and you shooting him in the back. That looks like hood politics. What Ghost talking about don't look like hood politics. What Ghost said to do is fire Gomer Powell. You know Greg Bovino, love Gomer Powell. What Ghost said to do is fire Gomer Powell. So President Trump fired Gomer Powell. How many of y'all we heard headlines about Minnesota since he did what Ghost said do? How many of us have heard about Minnesota since? Since I got the hood politics. I said, get the clown out of there, and y'all need to draw down out of Minnesota. Y'all need to leave Minnesota. That's what I said do. So once he did that, so you could say hood politics. I got hood politics, but you over there striking sovereign nations. But I got hood politics. My hood politics is talking about feeding children. That's hood politics. I'm saying if you support President Trump, you can't be talking about nothing to do with no hood. You can't say nobody hood. President Trump is more hood than any president we done had in a long time. That's hood. He the one being the gangster or wherever he been. President Trump the one acting like the gangster. He the one being hood. So if I was you, I wouldn't say nothing about no hood politics. If I was you. Because all that stuff he doing is way hood. I wouldn't govern nothing like that. You get mad. Oh, you gonna attack your own friend and take his land. Oh, we gonna take Greenland land. That's hood. Ain't no president ever did or talk. Bill Clinton was hood, and he ain't talk like that. Barack Obama ain't talk like that. You gonna attack your own friends and take their land. That's hood. I can't. That's that. Like no. What I'm saying is the right way to do it. Common sense. You see what I'm saying? Because I dress hood, or because I'm in the car, or because I'm okay with black culture or good with black culture. You can't make me be what you want me to be in your little pea brain because I'm saying, or you see what I'm saying? And plus, if you was in this live stream, you wouldn't be saying that because you know the entire time. Everything I say that's going to happen is what happens. Just how I say it happens. Every time. Just how I say it's going to happen is how it's going to happen. And the people who come in this live stream, they know if I make 1,000 predictions, 999 of them, I'm not perfect. I'm not God. I'm going to miss something. I'm going to be wrong on something. I made 4 predictions for the Texas Democratic primary coming up. Prediction number 1, you got between 1.4 million and 2 million people that's going to vote. Those are record-breaking numbers. You got to realize that. Those are record-breaking numbers. I predicted that before it happened. And over 1 million people already early voted. They probably going to get close to 2 million people that's going to vote. Second prediction, the winner needs 800,000 votes. Third prediction, Jasmine Crockett's going to win. Fourth prediction, the Democrats going to outvote the Republicans in the Democratic primary. I stand all 10 on all 10 of them predictions. I got them posted. And after it's over, we're going to talk about it. I might not be right on everything. I'm not right on everything. But I'm saying if you take my word and somebody else's, I'm saying gamble with what they're saying. And when you come back, I'm going to let you know I was right. Because I am right a lot of times. NTZ Claus, he know. I'm going to pin what he said. He in the stream. Y'all not in the stream. So, some of y'all are, but NTZ Claus, ask him, he in the stream every day, all the time. Every day he in this stream, and he be hearing what I'm saying, and he know I'm right. He know I said it. I called it. I be calling it. I see it exactly how it's gonna happen, exactly how it's gonna go down. There's people who coming in and analyzing how many Democrats and Republicans have voted in the Democratic in the primaries in Texas. I told y'all before everything started that Texas Senate seat is going to be the prize. Did I not say that? That more money has been spent in that race than in any other race they saying in Senate history. I told y'all that. More money's been spent and we ain't even got to an election yet. We just hit a primary. And they just spent $100 and some million already in the Senate race. It's going to be about $300 million probably spent in that race. I told y'all that before it started. You don't think 300 million? I'm saying, let's look at how much. You talking about a primary. It's 3 legs to this now. Because the Republicans going to have a runoff. That's leg 2. And after leg 2, you got to go from May to November and run an election. That's leg 3. How much money has been spent in Texas primary? So I'm going to say Texas Senate primaries. AI says the 2026 Texas Senate primaries have become the most expensive in U.S. history. Just like I said. The 2026 Texas primaries have become the most expensive ever in U.S. history. With a total of $122.6 million spent so far. The election ain't even the first election is on the 3rd. You're going to have a runoff between Paxton and Cronin, whatever the dude name is. Conan, I call him what I want to call him. A runoff between them two, okay? And then so you looking at another 80 million spent. And then on the regular race between the Republican and Democrat, if it's Jasmine, that thing might hit close to 300-400 million. Like I said, you had 122.6, you over a third of 300 million, and ain't not one vote. I mean, voters been cast, but you ain't had one election yet. You got 3 elections to do, at least 3 elections. If the Democrats don't have a runoff, which they probably won't, but you're gonna have at least one runoff. That's more tens of millions. That's way more intense on the Republican side. You got to run that race again, pretty much. And then after that, you're going to have an election. 300 million, easily. Maybe more, probably more, spent in that. Yeah. Ain't nobody seen that coming. I seen it coming. I told y'all that Texas was blue before one vote was cast. I told y'all Jasmine could win that whole election by just getting black voters to show up before one vote was cast. I knew it before it would happen. That's what I'm saying. You want to call it hood politics, you free to have your opinion on anything you want. If y'all haven't liked the video, y'all double tap the screen for me, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, guys. Hey, you could say whatever you want to about Jasmine. Jasmine is the reason why the records are being broke. She's the reason. It ain't Tellerico. She the reason the records being broke. You done ran a white boy for 35 years. You ain't never, that much money ain't never been raised. You never had that many voters. What's the difference in this election? Listen, we can conclude that this election is different. This election is different than any in Texas history. I just showed you that. Different than any in Texas history. So what's different? Is it Cronin? Nah. He been there. He the senator now. They running for his seat. He trying to stay alive. Is it Paxton? Paxton the attorney general. They might like Paxton, but not like that. And plus, the Republican vote numbers are about regular, but the Democrats aren't. So you're going to say it's Tellerico. How many people know Tellerico in the Democratic Party? How known is Tellerico in Democratic Party? I'm looking for the percentages. We're looking at what it say. Right here it says 31% of the Democratic Party name recognition. 31% of the Democratic Party in Texas don't even know its name. 31%. So I guess you could say the 69%, or what's that? Is that, yeah, 69% that do know them, maybe they out there supporting them that much. But that's why in Dallas County you got record numbers voting. That's why you had about over 15,000 people almost a day voting in just Dallas County because of Tellerico. And the majority of them are black. And she winning 85 to 90-some% of black vote. But they voting for Tellerico, though. It's because of Tellerico. That's why the University of Texas had her up by 16 points. Yeah. The only polls that I seen that had Tellerico winning was that Emerson poll, one poll throughout the whole primary season out of 5 polls. Every other poll come from Tellerico. How am I believe a poll that you had? Jasmine had a poll with her up by 13 points. I never cited that poll. And I ain't gonna never cite a poll Tellerico released. Tellerico, the only poll I seen you beating Jasmine in at all was that Emerson poll. And they only polled 28% of Democrats, so that poll cannot count. You beating Jasmine with Republicans and independents. You're not beating her with Democrats. They polled 28% of Democrats, and out them 28%, you still was losing. You see what I'm saying? So the Emerson poll don't count. Like I said, Tellerico, your poll, y'all probably use the same methodology as the Emerson poll, and he's just counting on more Republicans, independents voting in a Democratic primary, which I don't think is going to happen. You might have a lot of independents, a lot of first-time voters, but yeah, thin black line. I told her, all you got to do is go get black voters. That's the strategy. Let's see if it works. It ain't no ghetto politics. Y'all think Jasmine don't have ghetto politics. Wait till she win this election. She gonna show you. The only difference that you got a popular black female on this ballot in Texas, and you setting records. And they think Tellerico, he the same old boring white boy. Barack Obama speechwriters, probably Pod Save America, them boys writing his speeches. He's not real. He's not authentic. The state of Texas, they want real and authentic. That's why President Trump won about 14 points. Jasmine is real and authentic. And she got the base fired up. She got the black people excited. Y'all could get mad. Y'all could say it's ghetto politics. That's on you. It's unfortunate that we still dealing with racism from people after this amount of time. Ghetto politics, I could say it's your country hick politics, redneck politics, racist politics. Come on, man. King Fire says this election has a lot of new faces are going to get in office because the people don't trust those bought by those evil people. And I agree. And that's what King Fire, that's what I've been preaching, my brother. I've been preaching that for a long time. So long and too long. You see what I'm saying? The American people are sick and tired of politics as usual. They're tired of it. Y'all can't see it. I could see it. And I ought to do a live stream on this, but I could give it to you right now, my reasons. Number one, look at the presidents we had outside of Joe Biden. You got the first black man ever, and then you got President Trump. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. President Trump came in as an outsider, as a businessman. He wasn't like the rest of the politicians. He wasn't a Clinton. Clinton was the same. American people are tired of politics as usual, so they voted for the first black man ever. We got to try something different. American people are tired of politics as usual. Nancy Pelosi, you was right. That's good. A woman. That's something different, but it was a Clinton. I love Hillary. I'm just being real. It was going back to the same. They want something new, so they went with Trump. And it's still today. So all y'all political strategies, y'all could come to ghost ghetto school of politics, the ghost ghetto school of politics, and let this ghetto school teach you, because ghetto school Trump is how you win. They want real and authentic. Mandami is real and authentic. They don't want no fake scripted politicians, because when you fake and scripted, they think you're going to be up there fake scripted lying to them. The same politics as usual. I'm saying somebody real and authentic like President Trump, he still lied to the people. But I'm saying he'll tell you the truth. Oh, we going to take their oil. What other president? You ain't going to get no other presidents to do that. President Trump, he got moments where he going to tell you the truth, a bunch of moments. I'm talking about truth in a way, he just blunt and up straight out with it. Oh, we gonna go do this too. We gonna go do this. He just tell you. I'm saying that's what the American people are looking for. Y'all talk about attention politics. They're eating the cats and the dogs. But he won Texas by 14 points. I'm gonna build a wall and make Mexico. But he won Texas by 14 points because it's the white man, the old white man. You don't think it'll work for a black girl. a gorgeous black girl, a popular black girl, a sweetheart black girl, a sweetheart black girl that the Latinas love her and the white people love her too. And I'm gonna have y'all, bruh, wait till we get past March 3rd. Wait till we get past March 3rd. I can't really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take some steps to the center, homeboy. We're gonna dance to the middle, dance to the middle, dance to the middle. Oh yeah, we all do that. We all do that. It's an election. We ain't no Democratic primary no more. This is a whole election, and it's a bunch of white people, it's a bunch of Republicans, and a bunch of Latinos voting, and we gonna speak all y'all language. We gonna speak the country hit language too. Oh yeah, do you don't think Jasmine could put on a cowboy hat and cowboy boots? Boy, she from Texas. You ain't never seen a black person with cowboy hats and cowboy boots on? Yeah, boy, this Texas. We could show you how this go. You don't think black people could be country too? You don't think black people could relate to country white people? You the one that's racist, and I'm going to show you how not racist I am. How after March 3rd, you finna find out. You going to see what it is. We're going to win an election, boy, and you going to fall in line. That's what's finna happen. You going to fall in line with the little ghetto black girl. You ain't going to have no choice. You going to have to eat some crow. We gonna go to the supermarket and buy you some crow so you can eat it. Because you weren't saying President Trump ghetto, but that's as ghetto as a white boy I ever seen in my life. Come on, man, let's be real. You think the American people care? Don't know. They want real and authentic. They tired of politics as usual. That's why you have independents, the largest faction of Americans, and I guarantee you within young people, I never looked this up, but all those Harry Enton kind of types, y'all can look this up. I guarantee you with amongst young people, those independents, they probably about 60% or better young people independents, especially since Charlie Kirk died. Especially since Charlie Kirk died. Because Charlie Kirk was beating up on the Democratic Party with them young people. He was beating y'all up. Real talk, he was beating y'all up. He had a whole organization where he was getting them young people. He was converting them young people to Republicans, converting them by the thousands. Y'all seen them election results? A lot of those black males and Hispanic males, guess what? They were 25, Angelo. They under 30. A lot of those black males, and I ain't saying Charlie Kirk is the one, but I'm saying he was doing something. He was turning them people young and Republicans. But I'm saying if you do a survey on people under 30, I guarantee you the vast majority of them independents, they grew up knowing that the Republican Party wasn't spit. They grew up knowing that the Democratic Party wasn't spit. So hey, we just gotta pick one out of. We ain't going to your party. We're gonna pick one out of the group that we agree with or that we want to be president. Forget your party. What your party doing for me? Your party done lied to me. I promise you. You done had Democrats lie to me, Republicans lied to me. Your party done lied to me. Jasmine ain't never lied to me. That's what y'all don't really slow. You don't get it. Jasmine ain't lied to me. What you got on her? She ghetto. Oh, that's really racist. You saying that, you know that, right? Because that's like me judging a white person's culture or demeanor because they white. Oh, that's a hick. He a country hick. That's a lot of white. That's what I could say about Paxton. That boy country. He hick as he could be. Straight hick. Straight hick. You see what I'm saying? I could do that too. Oh, she ghetto. Well, that boy a hick. He a straight country hick. You feel that? I'm saying that's really racist. That's all you got on her. I'm saying she ain't lying to her people, though. She helping her people. She not an angel, but she better than what you got to offer. Especially Tellerico, too. You think he a choir boy, he little preacher. See, y'all don't want to get ghost started. I ain't trying to do that to him. He is not no choir boy, I can promise you that. He's just weak. When you weak, you talk soft. And you talk, I want to go against corporate America. Can't believe nothing you saying. You reading what you saying off a script. Oh, I want to go against corporate America, and I don't believe nothing he's saying. Look, I'm finna play, since we talking about Jasmine, y'all, I need all y'all from the state of Texas, or if y'all know someone in the state of Texas, we need y'all to go vote on Tuesday, and this is who you want to vote for. This is who you want to vote for. I don't care what they talking about, ghetto. Listen, if you didn't know, I'm finna play for you a video, and I'm saying if you did not know who this was, you tell me this person sounds ghetto. That don't make no sense at all. Y'all listen to it. I'm going to play a video, and I want y'all to tell me if this girl to you or this female, what I'm finna play to you sounds ghetto. Y'all tell me from this video y'all hear, okay? If y'all don't think that what she's saying is right, okay? Ghetto.
Listen, I proudly stand before you today with complaints. My complaints have to do with the inaction, or maybe it was the intentional actions of this rogue administration and, yes, the Republicans that are flanking it. You see, a lot of people want us to fight one another instead of getting us to unite, and they want us to ignore the fact that poor policies have led to the pain of the people. Let me go a little bit further. Many of you may know me from a meme or a viral moment. Many of you have no idea that I actually served on the Agriculture Committee. I served on the Ag Committee, and I fought really hard to make sure that we could get a farm bill passed. Right now, we are 3 years behind on a 5-year farm bill. Let me tell you what that means. It means that I was going around, I was talking to Texas ranchers and farmers and hearing directly from them the pain that they were experiencing. Some of the things that people just don't know, and frankly, now they are just now waking up to, is the fact that, as it's already been said, we are at a 75-year low as it relates to cattle production. Now, what exactly does this mean for all of us? Let me explain to you partially how we got here. One of the reasons is that we know, well, first of all, cattle stock is at a record low because Republican-led farm bills over the last several decades have ignored the needs of beef cattle ranchers as they have faced increasingly severe droughts and increased input costs. For your awareness, the subsidies tend to go first to the big row crops, then dairy cows, then a tiny bit to beef cows. If we start talking about what the president has done as it relates to tariffs, well, that only precluded and prevented us from, well, having the exports that we needed. He then went a step further and decided that it only made sense to send $40 billion to Argentina. Now, imagine this. This $40 billion didn't come from his own bank account. This $40 billion came from the very taxpayers that now are not going to have jobs right here in Amarillo. Somebody tell me how it makes sense to send money to...
Y'all can't see who out there, but it ain't none but white people, farmers, country people. That's who she talking to, number one, okay? Now, what about that is ghetto? Because you hear her saying something negative about President Trump. That's what's ghetto to you. I'm saying because she's black, that's what's ghetto. What did she say that's ghetto? She's talking about farmers and ranchers. She's saying she can identify them and she could feel their pain. What about that is ghetto? I'm confused. Is she mispronouncing words? Does she have low vocabulary? Is she using word salad? None of that. So look, this is what we're going to do. Number one, how many farmers in Texas? What y'all say? How many farmers? 231,000. 400,000 agriculture producers. So you're looking at about 631,000 people, according to AI, okay? Who y'all think they voted for? You got over 500,000 people. Who you think they voted for? Mostly farmers, rural Texas, throughout the state. Suffering. She identifying with their pain. I ain't hear Paxton talking about the farmers. I hear Conan talking about the farmers, and I definitely didn't hear him talking about Texas farmers. Tellerico, all he doing is writing scripts that's wrote for him by Pod Save America and Nancy Pelosi cheerleading squad. That's all he doing. She from Texas. She went to Amarillo. She going to other places in Texas that y'all don't know nothing about besides what y'all seeing right now. Everybody paying attention to the campaign right now. So she got to get the base of her support up right now. Yes, she could win that vote with black voters. That's what we going to do. We trying to win an election. I'm saying she already been to and spoke to the pain of Republican voters. And that ain't even, she doing that during the Democratic primary. But I'm saying I'm not going to pay you her best. I'm going to just play you something that's directed towards, you see what I'm saying, rural or Republican voters, really, primarily. I'm saying, what about that is ghetto? She's well-spoken. You want me to continue playing it? I'm trying to find it. You said somebody, see, Ghost's a litigator. And you got to understand, when you go in, Ghost's going to litigate it all the way. You're going to be hard-pressed to beat me in this argument. But the word that you use was ghetto. That's the word that you use. Ghetto politics. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm looking. I'm trying to find it. Because I'm saying Joe Biden court black voters as well. Bill Clinton court black voters as well. That's what all Democrats do, regardless of what color you are. Without black voters, Tellerico won't win as well. Ghetto politics. That's what he said, right? Ghetto politics. So, bro, listen, I'm saying, look, I'm thinking ghetto politics. What's ghetto? Girl, you crazy. You better get on down here, President Trump. Nah, we ain't playing this with President Trump. You know he ain't nothing anyway but old scam artist. He old convict. That's ghetto, right? You said ghetto politics.
Confident you can not only energize the Democratic base, but you can also persuade independents and moderate Republicans.
They said you can only energize the Democratic base, but you could persuade independents and moderates. So, of course, you know I could do that. You know I could do that better than Tellerico. You said ghetto, right? Let's see what ghetto is.
The general election.
So first of all, thank you for the question. Specifically talking about energizing the base, I think that is actually where we start. We know that in the state of Texas, we have experienced record low kind of turnout when it comes to our state. We're only turning out maybe a little bit more than 50% of voters that are registered in the state of Texas. I think that this is about exciting Democrats. For the longest, Democrats have kind of sat on the sidelines and not really been excited. And it's not because we haven't had great candidates.
Are Democrats excited? This was a month ago. Are Democrats excited? Oh, they excited because of Tellerico. That's why they excited.
We've had candidates that they just didn't really know. For the first time that I am aware of in a very long time, there's a number of things that are different. Number one, we have people running for every state house, state senate, as well as U.S. House race. We haven't had that since the 90s. Number two, we have a candidate that is actually already known and already has a brand versus us kind of trying to just spend the $100 million for someone to learn their name. Number three,
that don't sound like a ghetto politician to me. That sounds like a very smart, beautiful black woman who is about to win the Democratic nomination for Senate on Tuesday night. That's what that sounds like. And she did it because she's very intelligent. And she knows that there's 500,000 African-American voters who the Democrats need anyway in November. Chances are, if they vote in March, they're going to vote in November. You could go to political science and USM, and they'll teach you that probably maybe 100 level, maybe 200 level. If you get them to the polls in March, your chances are that you're going to be able to get them in November. Okay? If you get them in the primary, they're going to vote in the election. You feel that? So what I'm saying is, you had a bunch of black voters who were not voting. Am I right or wrong? Beto tried to court him. He came this close, 3 points. Few 100,000 votes, this close. So I'm going to use that same strategy that Beto used. Stacey Abrams used this strategy too. Okay? They used it in Georgia. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a candidate who can get those black voters who are not voting to go to the polls. Ain't no Democrat winning without those black voters. Y'all not listening. You're getting it. Tellerico, if he could win this primary, if the Democratic Party was smart, first of all, you're going to pass a decorated congresswoman who has get death threats because she's tough against President Trump, unlike these Democrats. You know how many Democratic men are in the Democratic Party and how soft they are? You know what I'm saying? Governor Walz proved he wasn't soft. Mayor Fry proved he wasn't soft. They might look and act soft. They not soft. They stood up to President Trump. You see what I'm saying? Governor Newsom proved he ain't soft, but it's a lot of these Democrats that are soft. They super soft. You go low, we go high. I respect that. But in the age of Trump, he go low, we gonna pop him in his mouth. That's the politics that's winning. I'm trying to win. I ain't trying to sound good or act like I care about democracy. I'm trying to win. You feel that? Ghosts understand politics. You could say I'm ghetto. Maybe I am ghetto. Who knows? Who cares? It's about winning. You want to win or lose? That's what I'm saying. If you want to win, let's get a little ghetto. So this is what I'm saying. Looking at the strategy of that Democratic primary, we just talking Democratic primary. What I first did, I had to figure out about how many voters going to vote. No one would have predicted 1 million people would have voted in the Democratic primary. No one would have predicted. But in my mind, I saw about 1.5 to 2 million people. I wrote 1.4 to 2.1. But I saw about 1.5 to 2 million people, probably about 1.7 million. That would be precise, but I can't bet this precise because I'm betting over. If you look at all the numbers of the previous elections, it's way less than this. I'm knowing Jasmine's strategy. She's going to get voters who do not vote in the primary. They might have voted in the election, but they do not vote in the primary. You see what I'm saying? And they probably ain't voting in the election. It ain't necessarily, listen, I looked at every single primary. I'll show you. I'll give y'all the precise numbers so y'all can understand this. And y'all can see it a little bit of what I'm talking about and how I'm coming to these numbers. You saying it's ghetto politics. It's not ghetto politics, bro. This is a precise method that I'm giving. You just mad because I'm not giving you the algebraic equation. And I sound like a little bit, and I dress like a little bit, but I promise you I got more education than you, my boy. I promise you, I've said in more classes than you. In 2018, okay, you had in Tarrant County, this just Tarrant County, 1,786 Democrats. In 2020, you had 3,064. In 2022, you had 2,368. In 2024, you had 2,109. In 2026, you had 8,300. Listen, since 2018 in Tarrant County, they never got more than 3,000 Democrats ever to vote in the primary. They got 8,000 to vote on day one. They numbers stay consistent. That Dallas County is even worse. She says she's going to do this. I just played you the clip. The way we do this, guys, ghetto or not, you want to win? Democrats, do you want to win? Or do you want to be politically correct and soft? They go low, we go high. I'm not hating on that. That's beautiful. That's like Civil War days beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King gets show is the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like, it's a battle time. You know what I'm saying? You saying the convict in our democracy is at stake. Are you going to fight for your democracy? Or are you going to be like, little soft, it ain't soft time. It's time to get dirty. It's time to box. So you want to box? How did Beto fail in winning the Democratic nomination? He didn't get enough black support. didn't get enough black voters. So the Democratic Party, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, they know this. They went around the counties around Harris County and they just registered a whole lot of black people after Beto lost. But those black people, they still not really coming up and showing up and vote. If I'm not mistaken, Harris County, I think they got Harris County to get blue. If I'm not mistaken. But you need someone to get those black voters to vote. Let me be correct. How many registered black voters are in Texas? That's what we're looking for. I'm telling you, if you're looking at the number of people who voted in the Democratic, let's look across Texas. Democratic, well, I'm not going to do that right now. Let's see. How many black voters in Texas? How many registered black voters? Not eligible. How many registered? It's 4.5 million eligible. How many registered? Registered. Hold on, guys. Let me look. Guys, every time I get my data, I get L2 data. L2 data says there's 8 million likely Democrats and there's 6 million likely Republicans in Texas. We told y'all about that. You guys didn't believe that. We told y'all that Texas was a black state. I mean, not a black state. Texas was a blue state. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Hispanic population is 25% of the electorate in Texas. African Americans are 7.7% of the electorate, but not the Democratic primary. That's what I'm saying. That's what y'all don't understand. In the Democratic primary in Texas, when I looked at the data, I seen probably close to about 1 million or maybe less, or maybe a little above. Nothing surprising. 1 million on the high end in the entire election was voting. I never seen like 2 million people vote when I was looking at the data in the Democratic primary in the state of Texas. This is how I come to my numbers. So I look at Jasmine and I understand, y'all. I did the live stream. Some of the days I got the numbers wrong, but I got the numbers right this time. Within counties, Harris County, Houston Metro. I'm not talking about just Harris County. I'm talking about the counties surrounding Houston. We talking about Katy. If you know the city, you go down to South Houston, almost to Galveston, and then you come back north past the Woodlands. Yeah, Metro. 7 million people, Metro. You had 300,000 black voters, 340,000. I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to tell you 300,000 because I know I'm right. 300,000 registered black voters, okay? If I looked at same thing up there where Jasmine at in Dallas County and the counties that surrounding Dallas County, you see what I'm saying? Metro, Fort Worth, yeah, 7 million, okay? I'm just not being precise. I'm just telling you what I looked at. 200,000 black voters. So I know half of the state of population, there's in those metro areas, you're looking at 14 million people. There's 30 million people in Texas. That's half the state's population. Within them two metros, I have 500,000 registered black voters. Listen, I don't care. I do not care whatsoever about registering voters, new voters, reaching voters. I don't care about that. I'm trying to win an election. Follow me. So I know I have 500,000 in Houston and Dallas. If you see how many people are voting and black voters are voting in Houston and Dallas, record-setting numbers, there's only one way that you're going to conclusion you come to. That University of Texas poll, they don't have no dog in the fight. They got her up by 12. I got her up by 7. What I'm saying is, if you look at how many people are voting in her city and county, her neighboring cities and counties, and Houston, where she lives. She represents Dallas, but she lives in Houston where she lives. She know the church people. She know that this person, that's Congresswoman Crockett, what y'all call ghetto, the black people love her. It's white people who love her. Latinos love her. I'll play you so many clips I'll play you a clip of a woman says she voted for Tellerico, but she loved Jasmine. You insane. This is a Democratic primary. I'm trying to win. I know I have 500,000 black people in Houston and Dallas. This is the playbook, baby girl. Yeah. You burn it out. They up against me. All y'all saying those were ill. She getting black people fired up. She getting them mad. Tellerico, he helped her out too by saying that about Colin Howard. Get them mad, get them fired up, and they going to vote. You get 500,000 black people in that area. If I'm not mistaken, it was over 1 million registered black people in Texas. I thought it was close to 3 million. You don't have that many people voting in the Democratic primary. So you could win this election by just getting black voters to vote. You could win the whole election. He's not going to win 100% of whites. He's not going to win 100% of Latinos. Quite contrary. With her being as popular as she is with the Democratic Party, nationally recognized within the Democratic Party, loved in Texas within the Democratic Party, and a lot of independents. Independents don't hate her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, yeah, I could see with white people, her getting at least 30 or more % of the vote. Some people say, Ghost, you crazy. He only beating her by like 10 or less with white people. I say I give him a wide margin with whites. With Latinos, not so much. I'll probably give him about a 10 point or less margin with Latinos. So say he beating her, you know what I'm saying? What's that? 55-45. But then you come to the blacks. Now, you got more Latinas and whites. Give you 66% of the population of Latina voters. 66% of the voters are Latinas and whites. And a third of them are blacks. And you give her 90%, what she polling at or better, of black people. He don't have a chance. Anything over 30% of the people who voted was black, he gonna get shallywagged. Shallywagged. His prayer is to keep the number of black people who voted less than a third. And that was our playbook, is to get them all to vote. You got enough of them registered to vote. Really, you got enough of them in Dallas County and in Houston to vote. It's just Texas, you got so many, it's so big. It's not, black people aren't the majority. In the general election, that's not going to be your strategy. Because if there's 7% of the voters regularly, you could run that up with Jasmine on the ticket. You could get it to about 15% of the voters. It'll make a difference. But she gonna have to win them Hispanics. I'm talking about she gonna have to run them numbers up with them Hispanics. Y'all don't know what the plan is. Y'all don't know what the plan is. Because you running that election for them Hispanics. That's who you running that election from. We don't care what the Republicans talking about. We running it for the Hispanics. Tellerico can't do that. He gonna have to halfway run it for the black people because he got to convince them to go vote for him. Like he ain't like the other 3,000 white boys y'all done put on the ticket and lost with in Texas. Y'all just ain't getting it. Y'all slow. So for the primary, y'all just might have got pimped. It ain't no ghetto politics. We love all Texans. We want to see the success of all Texas, even Trump supporters. That's why within the campaign, we come out talking about farmers and helping rural Texans. You see what I'm saying? Republicans, but they're Texans. You see what I'm saying? You just don't understand the game plan. You're trying to win. I try to win elections. It ain't nothing ghetto about talking to people who have been ignored, or people who aren't participating in the process, the voting process. You see what I'm saying? Who cares because they black? That's just what it is. And they enthusiastic about Jasmine Crockett. She fights for the people. You heard her talking about farmers, so you can't just say it's just black people. You just don't understand it yet. It's just right now, the most surefire way to win this primary is to get those black voters to go vote. The Democrats won't win in November like that. You might as well get them down there right now, as many of them as you can. And with her, with that strategy, she can win this entire election by doing that. And they're going to vote in droves. We just don't know the number yet. They not just voting. See, here's the thing. The black people aren't just voting in Dallas County and in Harris County. They voting in, where was that, Killeen? What county Killeen is? That's over there by Austin. There's black people all over Texas. 4.5 million registered voters. Is that a correct numbers? I mean, potential registered voters. People of voting age. If I'm not mistaken, it was millions of registered black voters in Texas. All you got to do is get them to the polls. Because I'm saying, you got 500,000 black people who voted. I'm saying, man, because I don't think 2 million people going to vote. It might be. I'm saying she need to maintain at least 30% of that vote to be black for me to feel safe. 30%. Because he can't, his numbers with the Hispanics and the white people, he not going to be able to do those numbers like she is with the black. The white people, he not going to be able to beat her 90-10. The Hispanics, he can't beat her 90-10. Can you get it? It's a third. You get a third black, a third white, and a third Hispanic. The Hispanic could be more white, but you need to hold that thin black wall, a third black. So within the blacks, she winning 90-10. That's a third of the vote. It's a law of numbers. He's not going to beat her 90-10 with Hispanics, nowhere close. He's not going to beat her 90-10 with whites. So if you do the law of averages between three, if you get a third of the black voters, just know he can't get her. It's impossible. It don't matter how many white people that show up and vote because of who she was before him. Most of them white people, a lot of them, a third of them don't even know who he is. That's why he got to bleed their money like that and still losing in polls, the polls that count. University of Texas poll and the University of Houston poll. I trust them two polls more than any other poll I've seen in this season. But if you use the, what's that, Texas Southern, or one of them polls, it's same thing. She was winning by 8 points. I'm saying them undecided started breaking. They were breaking for her, and it shows. I'm not saying he don't have. I think in my estimation, he going to get at least 500,000 votes. That's why I said her to get a minimum 800,000. And to run them numbers up, within you could do that. Dallas is so big. Got so many people, black people, they voters, they registered. Everybody go vote. And you get a third of them people to vote is black, and I don't see how he beats her. What I did wrong? What I said wrong? That's not racist. That's not ghetto. You just need to open your mind to understand other strategies and cultures. You lost 35 years in a row. You got to try something new. Them white people and Hispanics, they show up. Them Democrats, they going to be enthusiastic. They show up. We going to get the blacks to the polls. We going to have the numbers to win. You want to turn the state blue? Do it your way. And when you fail in November, I'm going to laugh at it. But you do it my way. You see she could execute. She win this primary. You see she could get the black people to the polls. Put the money behind her and turn it up. Let's go win it. What we talking about? What we waiting on? WTF says Trump ran on race and fear baiting America, and that's so true. They ran on getting rid of DEI. Trump didn't run on that, getting rid of DEI. Ran on race and fear baiting America. That's so true. How is that wrong? They act like President Trump, he don't be doing nothing or talking about no race. It's just Jasmine. President Trump don't talk about race, huh? So talking about race, is that what make you ghetto? And look, and I don't have nothing against President Trump. I like President Trump. This is y'all. This is y'all.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
It ain't not with the male and female thing, but I'm saying you heard him say his own mouth. He talking about race. Yeah, he ran on border and national security. I ain't say he didn't do that, but you act like he don't talk about race. Jasmine, I showed you videos what she running on. I played the audio for you. What she running on? But y'all ain't told me nothing. Drop the link where she talking about race. President Trump talk about race. I thought that the point was y'all talking about ghosts and ghetto politics. And I'm trying to figure out how it's ghetto politics. If you talking about how I'm dressed, then you just like an old square. Because it's nothing that I'm saying is ghetto. Everything I'm saying is correct. If you talking about how I talk, then you must be probably kind of racist. Because I'm sorry, I'm not like no lame or no square. I'm going to just be real. I'm not trying to talk all properly correct and dress like they dress. All them dudes lying, and they don't know what they talking about. They going to look at numbers that I projected before it happens, and they analyzing something that I'm already projecting. That ain't no brag. That's facts. NT's clause, he know that's facts. WTF, he finna know that's facts. They looking at data that I already projected on February 16th. It's like at 1 minute and 30 seconds on that live stream, Jasmine for Texas, number 7. We did on February 16th. I projected that. They looking at that data and analyzing it. But they got suits on, and they in the studio. And they got 3 million subscribers, and it's a white boy. But they look at me like I'm ghetto, but I'm calling calling the shot, I'm calling the plays. I run it myself like a quarterback action. I picture 10 G's, tell your chick to go shopping. She bought herself some clothes and she bought me back a chopper. Say people trying to kick it, tell them I don't play soccer. I'm all about my cake. I'm trying to marry Betty Crocker. Hey, that's ghetto politics. Oh, well, it ain't for you. For the ones it's for, we going to have fun with it, and we going to, guess what? On Tuesday, what we finna do? We finna win. That's all I'm about. You going to know ghosts about winning. If I don't win, enough black people ain't going to vote. That's the problem. And you know what that means? Tellerico not going to win in November. Y'all just don't get it. I'm trying to give you the game. That's how. So what? Tellerico going to find, there are enough Hispanics. But I'm saying they going to vote for him, though. He going to turn up enough Hispanics. He going to have to spend so much money. You ain't going to outspend the Republicans. They going to out-hustle you. I'm saying Hispanics tend to vote Democrat, right or wrong. But I'm saying when it comes to two white boys, I'm saying you ain't understanding it. You need that black female. And in this day, in this time, especially that black female, outspoken, educated. Don't talk. You talk about marriage. Talk about her qualifications. What's the qualifications? Let's look up Jasmine Crockett's qualifications. Let's see if she qualified to be senator. She qualified? So she right now, currently, she's a U.S. representative. She was born in St. Louis. She graduated from Rose College with a bachelor's of art. Oh, how many of y'all got a, oh, y'all do got, yeah, you got a bachelor's in business administration. Then she went to the University of Law Center with the Juris Doctor in law. Any of y'all got a Juris Doctor? Afterwards, she was a public defender in Boyd County, Texas for 3 years and later worked as a personal injury lawyer. Any of y'all been attorneys? She was elected to the Texas House in 2020, elected to the U.S. Representatives. Huh. So you got a Juris Doctor in law. It's a lot of education. See, I ain't just talking, I'm being real. And then, after you got that, you went on to be a public defender for 3 years and then started your own business, personal injury. That's where she made that money at. You know what I'm saying? But she had higher ambitions. Then she went to the State House. That's where Tellerico is right now. He in the Senate, though. But it's the same thing, really, in Texas. She was down there with him. He ain't never been a lawyer. He was like a teacher, a junior high teacher. Hey, look, I said he was a preschool teacher at first. I didn't put him to junior high, but I was just playing. But really, he was just like a teacher for a few years, and he got in politics. But look, she down in the State House like him, and then she moved up to the U.S. Congress. That's why she more known to him. He jumping terms. He should have ran for one of them congressional districts. That's a conversation though. But she in the U.S. Congress, and he in the State House down there. She a lawyer. She know the law. All of that. Those are the best Congress people. Most of them are lawyers, and they're supposed to be. He a teacher. She could stand and fight against President Trump. He kind of soft and scripted. She real and authentic. What we talking about? Only thing ghetto I could see out of it is Paul Salas. I hear you talking, but only thing ghetto I could see out of it is a little racism. Y'all racist on my girl. If you racist against my girl, man, just say you racist against my girl. You could be racist against my girl. We gonna ghetto fabulous this W though. We gonna get us a ghetto fabulous W. What a win taste like? You think it matter? What's that taste like? It don't matter. What we talking about? We out thinking you. The reason you can't win, you little dodo bird Democrat. Reason you little dodo birds can't win Texas because the black people ain't enthusiastic. They ain't finna go vote for the little flat booty lane dude. Yeah, it's ghetto, boy. Flat booty lane dude. I'm just being, you call it ghetto, but I'm just being real. I'm calling it like it is. Y'all ain't used to nobody just being this real, just telling it like it is. No kind of political correctness or nothing. I ain't no Democrat. I don't subscribe to political correctness. I subscribe to truth. So you got this little, they ain't voting for the white boys. Beto almost got him. You know, Beto kind of cool, but not cool enough. But you know, you insert Jasmine Crockett and they fired up. She one of us. So what we got to do, Jasmine, is mobilize. You got the numbers. Just get them to vote. And I need a third of the voters showing up, a minimum of 30% to be black. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do for you. Election night, we're going to be real ghetto on March 3rd. We're going to be walking it out on you, boy. On March 3rd, boy, we're going to walk it out on you. We're going to walk it out on you on March 3rd, boy. That's how you walk it out. You get the black voters to go vote. Y'all can't do that, and you mad. That's why you calling me ghetto. Because, see, when the black people go vote, everybody going. The Hispanic people going, you know, the white people, they always... No, I'm just playing. You got some old black people. You got a fraction of people who going to do their civic duty regardless. Especially older voters, they're going to go vote. But I'm saying, you know, you got these younger people, this hip crowd, they on Instagram and TikTok sharing that at the polling like it's cool to go vote for Jasmine. She made it a fad. She started a fashion. She started a movement within the, you know, the black community influence culture. We culture influencers. See what I'm saying? So we influencing the culture to go vote and participate in the political process. And ain't nobody could go, regardless of how you see it, that's facts. That's what happened. And ain't nobody could go influence the culture to go vote and participate. Because this is look, I don't want to say the numbers because that's how y'all going to get me. Because what I'm saying is right is right. You know what I'm saying? And like, I need correct numbers. I'll be going and it be AI. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody hacking me, putting the wrong answers on the teacher wrong answers on the board. Like, so look, this is what I'm saying. If I looked at the numbers, I seen that the 30 million people in the state of Texas, 18 million registered voters. If you had L2 data, 8 million Democrats, I'm looking at the number of registered white people is not voting, the number of registered Hispanic people are not voting, and get you the largest number of registered people who are not voting. Yeah, you got more white people individually than blacks. You got more Hispanics individually than whites and blacks. Not together, but, you know. But I'm saying out of the people, largest number of them who aren't voting is the blacks. And they usually typically 90%. So the goal is for Democrats to win. You're not winning without that large black voters in Texas, the most black voters in America. You're not winning as a Democrat in Texas without those black voters, not statewide. That's why they've been losing. The Hispanics, some of them aren't voting, but more of them are voting than the black voters. Less white people are not voting, but way less of them aren't voting than the black voters. You have more white voters and less of them not voting. You have more Hispanic voters. It's a larger amount of Hispanics not voting than whites. Like white people, they go vote. They do. They perform their civic duties. Black people, they don't. You call that ghetto. I call that having knowledge and knowing how to win elections. That's why Georgia took 2 Senate seats from y'all, because they had knowledge and know how to win elections. How are we going to get these black people fired up to go vote? They already fired up to vote for President Trump. Insert a gorgeous young black queen. They supercharged, and I knew it. You could say what you want to. I knew they were going to be supercharged. That's how I could predict 2 million people going to vote in a Democratic primary. What? How you know? Oh, yeah, they supercharged. I could put all the variables together. My mind could do things that some people can't. I could put it together. Oh, yeah. And then I'm seeing how much money he getting and spending and dropping. That money is like promotion money. It's helping Jasmine. It's just making the situation bigger. She already got a name. They already know her. So they say, oh, the white boy, he could go win. For the little gullible people that believe them, they voted for him. Everybody else, you know who they voted for. I ain't picking on Pod Save America, but I don't care. I don't care which one of y'all coke sniffers want Tellerico to win. I'll call you out. All you gotta do is say my name. I don't care which one of y'all coke sniffers want Tellerico to win. That's all y'all be snorting that cocaine. Oh, cokehead on. Yeah, snort that cocaine and go straight on the air. Yeah, there's more Democrats to come out to early vote than Republicans. Jasmine Crockett, I believe she's going to win. I think it'll be a closer race. I think it'll be less than 10 points. I might be wrong on everything I'm saying, but this is just my prediction. I think she'll win a closer race. Maybe 3, maybe 4 points. My prediction is that she'll win. But if you ask me the points, I said 3 to 7 before. I'm thinking like 3 or 4 points. It might be closer. Might be neck and neck. Who knows? We just need 30. If we get 40% of, you see all the black people coming out and vote. That's why they calling it ghetto politics. They identifying a bunch of black people, even if they ghetto black people or ghetto looking black people, they're identifying black people voting like they identify her as, you know what I'm saying? But we finna win an election. We getting people who ain't gonna go vote for your not ghetto self, your not ghetto perfect self. We getting people some to go vote for your not ghetto perfect self. Because they wouldn't vote for your not ghetto perfect self, but they gonna vote for our ghetto self. So, yeah, we want the ghetto people to come vote for us. Because we gonna come get some of y'all white people to vote for us too. Just give me a minute. And, bro, about time April, it's cooking. While y'all in the middle of y'all primary, we gonna be beating y'all to sleep. Bludgeoning. You gonna get bludgered. I'm talking about bludgered. You don't see what's coming, bro. I hope Jasmine, she on deck. Jasmine, baby, you on deck. You ready for this? Come April, I'm talking about March, you know what I'm saying? I just let her, get her balance and direction. And come April, here come that strategy. We gonna start eating them alive. We gonna be speaking in Spanish. Yeah. You gotta start that in April. By the time they come, listen, they gonna beat themselves to death. You feel that in that Republican primary? They gonna be beating each other to death. And guess who gonna be beating on them too? In Spanish, across Texas. Jasmine gonna be beating on them too. Both of them. Whichever one we think got the ups, you see what I'm saying? If it's Paxton, we gonna be running them ass in Paxton in Spanish. You gotta hit the ground running in Spanish. Everything in Spanish. Everything we doing that we can is in Spanish. You feel that? How you say Ken Paxton ain't no good in Spanish? How you say Ken Paxton a convict crook in Spanish? Jasmine, you know how to speak Spanish, boy. You gotta learn you some Spanish words, girl. You know what I'm saying? You come out there and say, hola, ¿cómo estás, amigos? You see what I'm saying? Amigas. Hey, sí. You know what I'm saying? You come out there like that, man, we gotta start, you know what I'm saying, doing things to, you know what I'm saying, connect, link in, plug in with that Hispanic community. What's the Hispanic caucus or whatever in Texas? Or you got these young Hispanic groups. Summertime, it's going to be kind of slow. When school come back, we need to get them young people, get them registered to vote. It's a lot of work to be done. Yeah. All right, them Dems going to get that big dub. That big dub. Why you're going gutter when you sound ghetto? Thank you. They don't understand they what. That's why Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. You feel that? But I'm saying, like, they didn't call Michelle ghetto because she showed how she's smarter and more sophisticated than they are. You feel what I'm saying? Some people did. They disrespected, but they pay the consequence for the disrespect. But I'm saying, whenever you talk about, like, Jasmine, I'm saying she not going to say go low and go high. She going to stay low with you. If the consequence for that is you calling me ghetto, I'm saying that don't do nothing but help me. Because I'm saying I don't see no black person who not going to identify with me over that. So I'm saying that's who I need to go vote. So keep calling me whatever you want to call me. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to get them black people to go vote. That's exactly what I need. Now, come March the 3rd, after you call me that, then I got something to tell. We got a real response for it. Because, see, I tried to, give it to you, like, peacefully, how she's not that. But, like, if you want to identify her, that is good. Like, those black voters, I told you, if I get 50% of them, you're going to lose by 12 points, like the polls say. You better pray to God that they don't come vote. Because if they show up, it's a wrap. Listen, what I'm trying to tell you is, however, the game changed March 3rd. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So get your blind, get ready. The game changed March 3rd. Come April, y'all gonna be getting punched from the left side, and we don't even know which one. Show me my opponent. It don't matter which one it is. We gonna be tearing you up in Spanish. Come April, tearing your mouth out in Spanish. Look, I hope I'm on that Tax the Rich tour, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because some kind of way, we the people, before Jasmine even anywhere close to announcing she was running for Senate, I've been doing live streams about baby girl the whole year. You know what I'm saying? I heard I gotta do this, man. Before I get out of here, man, I gotta do this, man. It's been exactly 3 hours we've been streaming, y'all. So we're about to get up out of here. It's about 10:15 a.m. Eastern time. But before I do this, people don't understand the love I have for Jasmine. But I'm going to just do this for y'all. And if you guys know me, y'all will understand what this means.
Crockett got a boost to her Senate campaign.
If you guys know me,
A fight is
y'all will know what this means.
Campaign from a big name in the Democratic Party.
Hi, this is Kamala Harris, and I'm calling to encourage you to please go vote for my friend Jasmine Crockett. Texas has the chance to send a fighter like Jasmine Crockett to the United States Senate.
And that was a clip from a robocall from former Vice President Kamala Harris endorsing Congresswoman Crockett. The robocall hit the phones of Texas voters today, and Crockett is facing off with State Representative James Tallarico in the Democratic.
That's it. You heard my girl, VP Harris. I love VP Harris with my whole heart, bro. Y'all done heard the story 1,000 times. See what I'm saying? As long as I'm on this live stream and as long as she is in politics, not in politics, I'll be hearing her name. I'm going to speak on her name, And you heard from her own mouth, she said her friend, Jasmine Crockett. And that is her friend, Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett's a friend of VP Harris. She's a friend of our community. You could call her whatever name you want to. Just call her a winner on Tuesday night. Y'all listen. I'm a born again Christian, man. Like, I believe that Jesus suffered, bled, and died on the cross for our sins. I believe that the blood that Jesus shed is the payment for our sins. I believe that in order for you to achieve salvation, You can do it through prayer. You pray and you ask Jesus to forgive you of your sins. You let God know that you believe that Jesus came to this earth to suffer, bleed, and die for your sins. You tell God that you accept his sacrifice as payment for your sins. You have to be sincere. It's a true repentance, meaning that you're not going to go back to those sins. You're sorry for your lies. You're sorry for cheating on your spouse. You're sorry for drinking too much, or you're sorry for having sex or too much, or you're sorry for whatever it is that you did that you're sorry for. See what I'm saying? That's what repenting of your sins, meaning that you don't have no intentions of going back to those sins. You see what I'm saying? And if you believe in your heart that Christ is the Savior, and you believe that God raised him from the dead, it's your faith and it's God's grace. That's what salvation is. Once you accepted Jesus, you know what I'm saying, then you following the way he lived, the way he commands you to live as a Christian, as a follower of him. You see what I'm saying? Jesus will meet you right where you are. No matter if you're in a crack house, you don't have to be too good enough. Somebody who telling you you're not, or you need to wait to do anything, usually those things, you don't, like things like this, you don't need to wait on. Ain't no wait, man. If you're ready to change your life, if you see yourself as a sinner, if you see the errors and mistakes that you made, you recognize that in order for you, your soul, the part of you that hurts whenever nobody pinched you, the part of you that feels pain, man, when no one slapped you or punched you, your soul is going to live forever. That energy, that spirit, whatever you want to call it, is going to live forever somewhere. The Bible teaches that if you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, the blood of Jesus Christ that he shed on that cross. See, back in Jewish culture, they used to sacrifice lambs. You see what I'm saying? That's how they got forgiveness, or that's how they repented to God, is sacrificing lamb. So Jesus was a symbol of how the Jews would sacrifice that lamb. You only need one Jesus, one death, die one time. He was the sacrifice. The blood he shed, that's why we talk about that blood, is because of that lamb in Jewish culture. The blood that he shed washes away the sins, your sins. I know some people don't understand that. Younger people, the way you tell them is just you got to explain it and break it down to them. That's why I say it like I say it. Because you saying that you're politically correct, you're not going to reach nobody. That's what people don't understand. You need real and authentic. Anything you do is just be real and authentic. The ones you're supposed to reach, you're going to reach them if you're doing it from a sincere heart and for God. And that's salvation, man. That's how you say it. It's just that simple. I believe that Christ is king. I don't care what race you are. Without Jesus Christ, I do not believe that you will go to heaven. I don't care what race. I don't care what sex. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're a Jew or a Muslim. Jesus Christ. That's the one and only. Man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all know what I'm saying? Them donations. I appreciate you, WT, for the 10 memberships, man. I really love that, man. Look, especially, too, because we finna start that Tax the Rich tour, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Paul say, Diddycrats, man, like, I'm an independent. Paul knows this. He just be saying that. He messes with me. But the fact that you identify a person or a candidate as a Democrat, I mean, I guess you got to, because if you're going to go vote, but I'm saying, you just saying, like, you know, it's a Democrat. It's not a Democrat thing. I tell you all the time the reason why I support her. I tell you guys that all the time. Do I or do I not? I tell you guys all the time why I support her. It has nothing to do with her being a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat, nor do I support or endorse the Democratic agenda. I told you if she don't win on March the 3rd, then I'm out. I'm gone. I ain't even going to talk about it no more. I'm going to just talk about the election on March the 3rd. I mean, November to whatever. If he wins on November whatever, I'm going to say I was wrong and y'all was right. But when he loses on November to whatever, if he could beat her, not going to, could beat her, y'all just make sure y'all vote. But on November to whatever, if he could beat her, whenever y'all lose to Paxton, you can't play no white boy Hispanic game with Paxton. He gonna outpace you. They gonna spend 2 times. You know how at Tellerico, they believe in that money spending, boy. Them white candidates, they believe in that. That's what they doing. He's spending that money. He don't have the name recognition. On their side, both of them candidates got name recognition. It's just who got the bigger bank. And John Bonin. Nah, I'm just playing. I ain't trying to disrespect my man. But like he had to spend more money though, because you know what I'm saying? People just ain't feeling him as much. That's just facts. NTZ Clowns, appreciate that donation. He is the gift that all one needs is to accept, is Jesus. That's it. That's point blank, man. I don't care what we say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a preacher. I don't try to have a church. You know, I don't be trying to speak because people be trying to act like, you know what I'm saying? Like you think you too religious or spiritual. They just don't know me personally. You know what I'm saying? But I promise you, look. So if I'm in a situation, okay, and I got 11 homeboys, 12 homeboys, and we all on this mission together, and say one of these dudes I picked up off the side of the road, and like you know what I'm saying, I came in, I made him like one of my secretaries, you know, in my movement. You know what I'm saying? I gave him a high-ranking position. And you know what I'm saying? So we out here and we doing what ghosts do. You know, we doing my thing and fighting the ops. You know what I'm saying? Standing up for justice, doing the right thing, trying to save the people, healing the people, feeding the people, you know, what Miller Ray would do on a movement like that. And I'm saying, like, I found out that my homeboy I was just telling y'all about, man, he went and sold me out. He got me sold out. They finna come grab me. They finna come kill me. You feel that? I make it like that's how I talk to a little black kid or whatever color kid, south side of Chicago. I'm gonna put it personal to them like so they could understand it. I'm saying, so fam, what you gonna do in that situation? You feel that? Like, what would I do? And I know this dude just sold me out. Somebody told me, come whisper in my ear, or I just know he sold me out. And so I stand up and I tell the homies, all 12 of us, we got him at the table with us. And I say, hey, this dude right here, he just sold me out. 30 racks. He done went to the ops. They finna come get us now. Come get me. He sold me out. And you know all the homies, what they talking about, man. Which one of us is, because I ain't told them which one it is yet. They don't know which one it is. So they all talking, you know, which one of them it is. They finna smash him. For real, you finna get smashed. What would you say in that situation? One of your friends just betrayed you and you got the knowledge of it. And he's sitting two seats down. After all y'all been through, put yourself in a situation. What you came here to do, to help, to love, to teach. And you gave him everything. This is somebody you counted on, one of your friends. Put yourself in that situation. And let's just say hypothetically, you had the power to even kill this person and ain't nobody could do nothing to you. What would you do in that situation? Jesus stood up and said, the greatest commandment or new commandment I give unto thee. New commandment. It was, to me, it was the greatest. Do you love one another? I'm saying you talking about an energy and a vibe that's unmatched. That's unheard of. I don't know any man who would get up and say that, including me. Most men would kill you for a lot less. I'm probably not going to kill you, but I know I'm going to slap the living fire out of him when I see you. Hey, I'm going to slap the living fire out of him. You feel that? And I ain't going to let him go sell me out, snitch, betray me. If I don't kill him, I got to throw him in the dungeon or something. We finna run the counter out. But that's not what Jesus came here to do. He had the power to speak him out of existence. And that's not what he came to teach and command and instruct us. And he said, you get in a situation like that you love him. He said, before your enemy hungry, that you feed him. I'm saying like that vibe and that energy, us being humans, we're not going to be perfect. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, love, all like I'm just like Jesus and I got the right attitude and I'm going to respond correctly every time. No, that's not accurate. But I'm saying if you're going to have a standard, what's the standard going to be? That's the highest standard that you can have. It's God's standard. It's Jesus. Christ is King. Man, they get on me for saying this, NTZ clause. I appreciate you, baby. They get on me for saying this, but I love y'all, man. I don't care. They can hate on me. Tell them to come say it to my face so I can black that eye. Hey, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow. This is supposed to be my out day. I came and kicked it for 3 hours and 15 minutes. President T, you know what I'm saying? He pulled the move. The Supreme Leader, sayonara, my dude. He up out of here. He on the other side. It's a sad story. He was an old man. He lived a long life. I'm not going to put him down and contradict him because he was a Muslim. But I will say, I believe if you die without Jesus Christ, that you're going to get everything that was supposed to come to you. It's payday time for him. I know that sounds ugly, but that's real. So what we need to do in America, blessed as Christians, we need to accept Jesus before we die so we could get forgiveness of our mistakes and our wrongs. Because we're not perfect either. Believe it or not, we ain't no better than him. Not in God's eyes. But if you got the blood of Jesus on you, that's how you make it. We so blessed as Christians. We really are, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my time, man. I'll see y'all in the morning, 7 a.m. Eastern, man. I ain't got my topic yet. I'm going to keep watching the news. It seemed like this weekend, they got a lot of stuff, interesting stuff going on in the news, man. I hope y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. March the 1st, man. I hope I came in here and I delivered some interesting content. Gave y'all the news, analysis, and predictions in a way you won't see on the TV screen, legacy media, or on the internet as well. Guys, I'll see y'all in the morning. Hopefully, y'all, I am out of here. Y'all have a great Sunday.